Blank check with Griffin and David. Blank check with Griffin and David. Don't know what to say or to expect. All you need to know is that the name of the show is Blank Check.
What a wonderful night for Blankies. Blankies, Blankies. Who will win?
He's back. Griffey Crystal.
Griffey Crystal. Uptown Griffey Chris.
Oh, he's uptown.
He's way uptown.
He's never left uptown.
Upper East Side.
To him, going to like Union Square is a like getaway. That's like a summer vacation.
Once again,
I went to Greenwich Village.
I went down south for the holidays.
You ever heard of this subway? It takes you all the way down.
Down south to Union Square.
Once again, a hosting crisis for the Oscars means who do we call?
Crystal.
Griffey Crystal.
Good old Crystal.
Everyone was so excited when they went, look, everything fell apart. Eddie Murphy dropped out. Bill is back. And then everyone that year went, oh, fuck.
Oh, right.
Wait a second.
Oh, no. Well, also he did blackface. Let me.
As an opener.
Yeah. Let me tell you. Let me just start off with this.
Yeah.
James Corden should be hosting the Oscars probably every year, certainly this year. The man is ready.
ABC, he won't.
The man is ready. Exactly. This is my ABC complaint. He's ready-made for the Oscars. Celebrities love him. People know who he is. He's an actor. He can sing. He can dance. He has a Tony. He's got shut up.
That's my counter.
He's got a zillion.
I didn't say it. Then
Shut up. He's got a zillion viral fucking things he can plug people into for like segments, right? The man was essentially created to host the Oscars. He's English.
Okay, quick pause. Ben, cut this out because I don't want David to encourage the Academy.
No, they won't. ABC kiboshed it. They won't allow people like, because Myers would do fine and Colbert would do fine as well. You know, like they're just not allowed.
Who are the big stars of ABC's right now? Nathan Fillion, the rookie himself.
Nathan Fillion?
John Goodman and the cast of the Connors.
John Goodman and the cast of the Connors. By the way, I'm still watching the Connors.
Lisa Goranson and Michael Fishman to host the Oscars.
Just the two of them.
The two of them.
It should be Gritty.
Gritty should
always
the
be
Oscars.
Gritty.
Gritty would be good. Gritty hosting the avant-garde Oscars.
I am not a big James Corden fan. I don't really watch James Corden. I don't enjoy James Corden that much.
He's not a comedian.
Yeah,
but he's an actor doing an impression of a comedian.
That's why it doesn't matter. He was built for the Oscars.
Okay,
fine,
whatever. You win.
Did you see the thing where he jumped out of the plane with Tom Cruise?
Yeah. Oh my God, so funny.
It was fine.
The kind of comedy I grew up loving.
Gritty gets lulls. It's what they need.
No, you know what though, Ben? Gritty's got too much integrity. Gritty should host the Spirits. Gritty should be in the tent on the beach hosting the Independent Spirits.
Jimmy Kimmel sucks. He's bad. Yeah. Not funny. Not good. Show bad.
Has a weird relationship to celebrities in that he both loathes them and yet craves their
Doesn't watch movies.
Yeah. No.
He's a bad stand-up.
Hot take.
Has hosted a cruddy show for 15 years. He hosted the Oscars. Guess what? He was fine. Yeah. He did fine.
Hot take. Jimmy Kimmel's better than James Corden.
I think I agree with that. But I'm at the same time, I'm still like, Corden would be fine.
Also, I can't
stop overthinking.
I think
this.
Corden's big thing,
Don't try to hire
big
The
sin
Rock.
is what you said, is that he's not a comedian.
Right.
That's why everybody hated him when he got the job.
Right.
In late night.
But he gets 10 gazillion YouTube hits. He's exactly what they are looking for.
God, I can't wait to start my Tick Season 2 press tour. Where I suddenly do a heel turn and grovel at the feet of James Corden's producers to please give me airtime.
Yes, you should grovel. You could do something funny
This
with him. You
podcast
could like
is in
deliver
no way
a
a
pizza.
liability to my acting
Oh,
career.
no one's listening to this.
Yeah, right.
Shit, people listen to
That's
this.
the catch-22.
Right. All right. That's my Corden rant. I'm sorry.
The Crystal songs are bad. Crystal singing is bad. I constantly have 2003 Crystal songs stuck in my head.
Really?
They're stuck in their earworms.
All his 97s are in mine, so I'm glad.
I'll tell you what the 203s are that stick in my craw. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Seabiscuit, da-na-na.
This is vague, remember.
Seabiscuit song to the tune of Goldfinger.
Yeah.
The other one is Mystic River, that Mystic River. Old man Eastwood, he just keeps going.
Is that the one that ends with him saying, don't sing anymore to Clint Eastwood? Like he sang in Paint Your Wagon, don't sing anymore.
Yeah, and then Clint was like, hold my beer. Gran Torino.
That was the inspiration for Gran
Hold my
Torino.
Schlitz. Gran Torino.
Using Old Man River for Mystic River is the laziest thing I can imagine someone doing.
Moon River for Mystic River
Sorry,
would have
Moon
been
River.
one more step down the lazy.
But it's Billy
Down the lazy
Crystal, so
road.
he does Old Man River because he wants to get as close to Mammy as he can. Old Man Eastwood.
He's fully done Al Jolson for one of those songs at some point, I guarantee it.
Ben, cut everything out. Start the podcast over.
Let's insult some more people.
Yeah, I love
Who can
this.
we insult?
Mixing it up. I love it.
Can I tell you a weird Blankies related dream I had last night?
Sure.
And it's definitely tied in.
These are the blankies, by the way.
I had a dream that I went to someone's birthday, an old camp buddy of mine, which everyone's going to grovel at, but get ready for the...
Ezra Miller.
Boy.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Sure.
The point was it's someone I'm friends with in real life.
Sure.
But then the dream introduced the retcon idea that Bradley Cooper was one of my summer camp friends. That Bradley Cooper occupied the Ezra Miller space of like, that guy we were all really friends
And
with.
now he's big deal.
And now we feel a little shitty about texting him because
Right.
it's like, I don't know, but we were close.
We all feel that way about Bradley Cooper.
And
I
I was-
watched Alias. I know what's going on.
I was hanging out with Brad, my old camp buddy Brad. I had completely forgotten that I was good friends with him when we were 12, which doesn't add up because he's 15 years older than me.
Sure.
And then in the dream, I kept on going to other friends and going like, I guess I feel bad because we're recording the Blankies tomorrow and I didn't put Brad in Best Actor.
Wow.
And I forgot that we're such good friends. And it felt like Bradley Cooper had inceptioned my dream to try to chart.
Maybe Sean Penn did.
I was going to say, I have the statement
Hey,
here
Griffin.
from Sean Penn that I want to read
Please
about
do.
Griffin not including Bradley Cooper in his blanket.
Apparently my friend, my old friend Brad.
Have they worked together?
I don't think
Penn
so.
and Brad?
No.
I don't think
Anyway,
so.
the dream ended with me saying, love you, Brad. And he said, love you, Griff.
Oh,
And then I
love
went,
you
wait a
too,
second,
Griff.
we did go to camp together? Then I started like doing the Kaiser Soze and realizing
you
the
mean,
dream
like,
made
putting-
no sense.
Sure, right.
Yeah, wait a second, but he was already in Wedding Crashers.
When you were in camp, you
Yeah,
saw Wedding Crashers.
Right, I
at
was like,
camp.
I saw Wedding Crashers at camp. Like, I was like tying the whole thing together.
Well, we've started
Kobayashi
off by
Yeah, he's not the
praising
same age.
James Corden
Yeah.
and talking about camp.
Yeah, everyone's turned off this episode and then burned their device. People are bleaching their iPhones.
Oh, jeez.
Well, of course it is the Blanky Awards. The what? The
Yeah.
fourth annual?
Yeah.
That's right.
The fourth annual Blanky Awards, where we honor the best in what we consider to be the best.
That's right.
The best of our best.
Mhm.
Blanky Awards, we have with us, as always, Reading Rango, Joe Reid himself.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you.
Hell yeah.
That was my really sweaty attempt when I wanted everyone on our trivia team to have a nickname.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Reading Rain Joe.
What was mine?
You were Stone Cold Sims,
Oh, yeah, of course. Right.
which
Stone Cold.
Jamesy Newman.
Was
Point.
it James? I thought it was
He
Sam.
came once, and you were so
James
quick on the
came
draw.
once, yeah.
He went Stone Cold.
Yeah, all right. For some reason, I thought that was Sam, but okay.
Maybe it was. Both of them use it.
Sam used to use it, that's for sure.
Both of
But
them
maybe
still
James
refer to
coined
you
it.
as Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, Stone Cold Sims.
Mhm.
And then, of course, producer Ben, aka the Ben Deucer, aka the Poet Laureate, aka the Haas, aka Producer Ben, aka Mr. Positive, aka Mr. Positive, aka the Peeper, aka Hello Fennel, aka the Fuckmaster, aka the Tiebreaker, aka the Commish, aka the Booker, aka
the
Soaking Wet Benny.
Booker?
That
Yeah,
happened. We're
that
bringing
was
it back. AKA White Hot Benny, AKA Dirtbag Benny, AKA I don't know. It graduated different titles over the course of different miniseries, such as Kylo Ben, Bruce Brink, Noe Ben, Shyamalan Ben, Say It, Save Anything, Ayla Benz with a dollar sign, Bennington the Fennel Maker,
Warhol.
Purdue Bane. Which one?
Warhaz.
Warhaz. Right. Benglish, Mr. Ben Credible.
Sure.
Fucking I don't know. E. Drink Van Hosley.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that
What I love
everything?
about
Yeah,
this
you did fine.
podcast is that no bit stays retired.
No.
That bit isn't
That's what I
retired.
love.
It's just sort of like it's in retirement. Like it's in a retirement
It's an
home.
emeritus kind
Sure,
of a thing.
Exactly. It might come out once in a while.
Yeah.
It's Jeff Conway season 4 of Taxi.
You really are
Shows
loving
up-
taxis.
Shows up
now.
whenever it
Right
damn
now.
pleases.
I walk around now just jamming to Angela theme from Taxi on loop.
See, my chill out show right now is Star Trek Voyager on
Okay.
Netflix. So
Oh.
it's Tess from Star Trek Voyager.
The other thing I do is
She
I
left.
walk around my house
comes
doing
back a couple
Judd Hirsch impressions now.
That's great.
Ah, come on, Louie, stop giving him such a tough time. He's a nice boy.
So is Judd Hirsch just like a slightly more working class version of your dad? Is that what that is?
no, but it's a very fast and this
Yeah,
and
it's
that.
very fast,
Sing
very
songy.
fast.
Come on, Louie, come on. Luck is trying here.
In 1 year's time, I will be in the Five Timers Club. So now
Wow.
I'm going to be insufferable for the next 12 months.
We
As I anticipate.
We
Or
should
a
get
t-shirt
jackets.
or
Five Timers
something.
We should make a Five Timers Club t-shirt and then sell them to you.
Sell it on TeePublic. but exclusively to people who are in the Five
gonna
Divers
say.
Club.
Yeah,
We protected up the wazoo.
it's password protected.
Right. We've got lots of categories to do, I assume.
Yeah.
We should quickly mention Liam Neeson was fired as the host.
Yes.
We had announced that he was hosting the Blankies. Then,
Unfortunately,
unfortunately, we just don't want to deal with the devastating fallout of course, this horrifying story that happened. Cold Pursuit only opening for $10 million.
I asked him, Liam.
Yeah.
Can you can host, but just don't. Can you not bring it up?
Right. Literally, don't
he
tell
was
that
like-
story for the 6th time.
Okay. Just 3 times.
Then he headbutted me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Then he got so pissed at getting fired that he's been roaming the streets looking for Griffin Newman.
Holding a kosh.
Yeah.
That Robin Roberts interview is incredible because you're like, okay, he's ready to do like
to
damage
be like,
control.
look, I'm sorry, that was
And he's like,
ridiculous.
Robin, I'd like to tell the story again. Verbatim? You're just telling it again?
I fucking swear to God.
Robin,
he's
here's
so
the story.
weird.
Burn London to the ground.
Burn London to the ground.
Burn London to the ground.
Batman.
He has a very particular set of skills.
Does he ever say Batman? He should.
You're Batman.
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 I keep hearing about this.
The
He
last
says
line
Mr.
and
Wayne.
begins,
He always
yeah.
says Mr. Wayne.
Yes, he does.
Mr. Wayne. Burn London to the ground.
What a year for movies.
What a year for movies.
2018.
Ben, I mean, this may have been the most movies you've seen in a year.
Yeah.
You've, over the last couple of months, have kept on going like, guys, can we wrap up? I got to make it to like a 4:15 wildlife. Like, you were doing your due diligence this year.
Well, you've been dating. And
I've been dating.
You go on
so
some movie dates.
I went on some movie dates, but I saw a bunch of like not dumb movies this year.
You essentially had like a couple seats taped off at BAM to
Yeah.
go see whatever was playing that week with whoever you were dating that week.
That's pretty much.
I have
yeah.
never been a movie date. I mentioned this on my podcast
Yeah.
the other day. I rarely will go on movie dates for whatever reason, but so the ones that I have really like stick out.
It's
in my
not great for a date because you
No.
have to sit quietly. But
I only go-
There's something to talk about.
I go
afterwards.
see movies when I'm seriously dating a person because at
Yeah,
that point I'm like, we can
Yeah.
handle if we disagree on this movie.
Mhm.
On a first date, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I have actively gotten mad at people who have seen a movie with me and we're like, and we don't.
And you diverge.
Right, we diverge
Yes.
on exiting the theater.
Right,
I've
it's
gotten
tough.
mad at someone for saying the wrong thing as we're leaving.
Yeah.
Like where I was like, that was too flippant. Like, no, we have to sit in this.
right.
You know?
My thing is though, is like after the relationship ends. So we talked about Ricky and the Flash on my podcast the other day.
Sure.
And so now every time I see Ricky and the Flash, I think of this guy
Who
I
gets
am
custody of the movie?
no longer dating
Right,
now,
sure.
but it's like these like wistful sort of just like, oh,
you
remember.
right. This was, you were dating John Cougar Mellencamp
I was
at the
dating
time,
John
right?
Cougar Mellencamp at
Yeah.
the time.
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
2018, as usual, by the time this episode rolls around every year, I am so sick of all these movies and I
too.
never want to discuss it again. The Oscar discourse is always poison, but this year it's like triple poison.
I also feel this thing at the
This
end.
year it's like one drop and you're dead.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like-
It's like the chemical that Scarecrow puts in the water at Gotham and Batman Begins. Burn London to the ground. It does feel like
gas Gotham to the sky.
yeah. Every year there's the thing where like end of December I'm going like working overtime trying to fill in all the
Sure,
gaps.
sure.
And then first week of January I'm like I'm still at this. I need to have no blind spots going into the
Yeah.
blankies. And then by the second week of January I'm like I never want to see a 2018 movie
I
ever
hit a
again.
brick wall and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what?
Give me
At
escape
Eternity's
plan.
Gate.
Yeah.
You
Not escape
no.
plan, escape room. Right.
Give me that fucking
Right,
escape
like I
room.
haven't seen
Oh.
Eternity's Gate because I was
Comfort
like,
in my
I gotta
veins.
see Serenity. I gotta see Escape Room.
Mhm.
You know, like
Did you escape
No,
the
I
room?
totally.
I did. I
it.
escaped the room.
Great movie.
That movie rules. Have you seen that?
I know. I have not, but I've heard good things.
They better make 28 of them. They
should.
better.
They need to.
It's
They
doing
need to.
really well overseas.
That was the reception that I feel like Happy Death Day got.
yeah.
What, last year, 2 years ago, or whatever.
Mhm.
And then now, I feel like that feeling doesn't last long. Like I couldn't be less interested in Happy
The
Death Day
ending
2.
of this
Happy
thing.
Death Day
To
2
you, sorry.
fucking rules.
Does it really?
I saw it last
Really?
night. It's Primer, but a teen slasher movie.
Well, look.
I swear to God, it's not quite as good as Happy Death Day,
Yeah.
but it's great.
We agree. 2019, the year of no bad movies. Every movie in 2019 is good.
David, everybody's gonna be-
Is the 8th best film of 2019.
Everybody's going to be comparing that movie to Primer. I don't understand why you feel like
Yeah.
you can be so.
Giving yourself credit for
It's
that.
one of those things where, like, an hour into the movie, I was like, "This movie's like Primer," and then I was like, "I want to tweet that." And then I'm just sitting there being like, "I already know what I'm going to say
When
about
can I
this
tweet
movie.
that?
Can
When
I
can I tweet
leave?"
that?
Like, you know,
Yeah.
like
I just want to say the last 15 minutes of Escape Room are so goddamn good and genuinely, in a non-nerd way, give you the thrill of like Nick Fury showing up at the end of Iron Man.
the ending of Escape Room is kind of amazing.
Right, because
Like
they
the
just
last
immediately
scene.
go like, we're not ending this like a horror film.
Exactly.
We're ending this like the
Like a
greatest
franchise
cinematic
film.
franchise of all time.
Dang.
And they build it out in a way where you're like, well, now I have to see 20 of these.
I also love that girl who is in the Netflix Lost in Space. I forget her name, but the lead.
who I worked with is a lovely actress
Oh, really?
in a movie. One of the many films I've made that will probably never be released.
Sure.
For non-controversial reasons. For the controversial reason of no one liked it enough. Taylor Russell. She's a wonderful
Taylor Russell,
actress.
That's her name. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
I knew her from the Netflix Lost in Space, which was kind of bad, but whatever.
You didn't know her from Hot Air?
I didn't
You
see
Coogan,
Hot- I'll
Taylor
see it
Russell,
if you
Griffin
give me a
Newman joy?
cut.
Will never happen.
Give me a DVD.
It will never happen. Guess what I play?
The intern. I'm the
Yeah.
assistant.
Panicked
You're
assistant.
Steve Coogan's assistant.
Yeah,
I
of
know.
course. I wear a tie.
You told me like 8 Steve Coogan stories, which is all I wanted.
Yeah.
You mostly did that movie to tell me a few Steve Coogan stories.
I did. I also had a cold during the entirety of that movie.
No.
Well, it was right after The Tick, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was after season 1.
Yeah, it was a.
All right.
Yeah.
Look,
Anyway.
we got to start. We got to start.
Okay.
A lot of
That
movies.
was if someone came out and just read the script that we just said verbatim at
Yeah.
the real Oscars, it'd kill.
Yeah, I don't know what
Fucking
ABC's
massacre.
talking about. Wanting
No.
to cut all our time for chit chat.
Yeah.
What
This
if?
would rule.
What if they were like tight
I've been
3
listening
hours?
to the Taxi theme song a lot. Like the people just sitting there in stunned silence. Paul Schrader lights himself on fire.
Academy President John Bailey just reading a
It's
transcript of the
that
blank
script on the prompter as Julia Roberts is going scroll through,
Yeah.
scroll through,
Scroll through.
keep going. Yeah.
God. All right. Are we starting with Best Supporting Actor like we usually do?
I think we do.
Let's do it.
Best Supporting Actor of the Year.
Who's presenting? Our winners from last year.
Our winners from last year. Griffin, your winner was Patrick Stewart and Logan.
Of course it was.
Who would be a fun presenter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gravitas.
Yes.
My winner was the obvious winner, Willem Dafoe in The Florida Project. The best performance of last year. One of the most enduring movies.
Okay, it's an opinion.
Your winner was Michael Stolberg. Call Me by Your Name.
This is a good 3.
It's a good trio.
The Wrecking Crew. The
Yeah.
Wolf Pack.
the Wolfpack, yes. The Wolfpack is
The
back.
3 of them and like
Classic
Camp Buddy
Wolfpack.
Brad.
Yeah.
are the
Middle-aged
Wolfpack.
character actors. And Willem Dafoe was also the Reddit winner.
Okay, so Patrick Stewart comes out and he's doing his famous quadruple take. Michael Stahlberg is speaking. Stahlberg is speaking a very crisp diction, and Willem Dafoe is eating a live rabbit. And they are presenting Best Supporting Actor. And they read off my nominees for Best
Patrick
Supporting
reads
Actor.
off your nominees.
Patrick reads it off
Yeah.
after doing the quadruple take, the rarely seen quadruple take. And the nominees for Best Supporting Actor, and just a preface, I'm going wild this year, baby. My nominees
wild.
for Best Supporting Actor are Brendan Gleeson for Paddington 2,
Wow.
Great.
We're starting off
Great
right there, aren't we?
performance.
Richard E. Grant in Can You Ever Forgive Me,
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther, Tim Blake Nelson in The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and Corey Hawkins for Black Klansman.
Great scene. It's a great
That is
scene.
a great scene.
Plays Kwame Ture. It's a great scene.
An incredible scene.
This is what I love about your nominations, Griffin. You make me think. You make me realize that like there are performances that I hadn't considered.
I'm going outside.
Stick up for
the
performances
box.
that is-
I'm all for it. Also, Griff was a grump about 2018, so I feel like your faves are going to be...
I love my faves this year. I'll
Yeah.
say this.
Right.
I was a grump about more movies this year, but the things I love,
Fucking
ooh,
grump.
I'm going to the mat.
For me, 2018 was I loved a few movies, and I liked a ton of movies, like a lot of movies, but only a few loves. Anyway,
And say
Joe,
this in
go
the
ahead.
voice. Oh, no. Okay. So now
All right,
Michael
so-
Stahlberg stepping up.
Yeah, Stuhlbarg takes a
sitting.
second to
He's
get
sitting.
real. He sits down because we're going to take a second.
Sit down on a comfortable leather
This is
chair.
tough. I had 7 that I couldn't budge from forever.
You were tweeting the other night, and I'll say one of the 7 that you were tweeting, you didn't know who to cut. I would argue that one of those 7 was a lead contender. So I'm curious to see if you kept
we're going to
him in or
have this
not.
argument, but okay.
We're going to have a lot of category arguments.
Just what I
I
love.
figured because
Category argument.
2 of these people have been talked about a lot. 2 of these people are Oscar nominees that I feel like
Okay.
they've got their due. Sam Elliott in Star is Born, Richard E. Grant, Can You Ever Forgive Me? I'm going to leave them aside.
Because you want to fight for your guys.
I want to
Sure.
fight for my guys. I got Josh Hamilton in 8th grade.
Great.
Great performance.
I got Brian Tyree Henry in If Beale Street Could Talk.
Great.
Fantastic performance.
Nikki Holtz in The Favorite. Nicholas. I call him
Nicholas
Nicky.
Hoult.
For a second, I thought you meant Nicola Holtz from Transformers.
Push me, Nicholas Hoult, is to quote Rebecca Ballness.
Alex Wolff in Hereditary, who's the one
Great
we're going to argue
performance.
about,
Great
I
performance.
imagine.
Mhm.
And then Stephen Yeun in Burning.
Yeah, I mean, a gentleman's fight.
Great five.
Stone Cold.
This a
Wolf
good
is not a lead, I don't think.
I think he's a lead.
Because he's not no one's a lead in that movie except for Tony Collette.
I think there are 2 leads, and we will get to that later.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Okay, Defoe
My
takes the save.
5.
Yeah.
Sam Elliott
Mhm.
in A Star Is Born.
I heard of it.
Yeah.
As the titular
By the way,
star.
this is going to be the me yelling about A
Yes.
Star Is Born because I'm
Yes.
enraged at this point.
I know.
Apologies to my camp buddy Brad.
Stephen Yeun in Burning,
Mhm.
Michael G. Borden, Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther,
Cool.
Brian Tyree Henry in If Beale Street Could Talk, and Hugh Grant in Paddington 2. It's an obvious 5. I mean, there's a zillion others I could pick there.
Yeah.
And I'd like to read the Blankies have put together their nominees this year, kindly submitted to me by Emilio Diaz from the subreddit. Their Best Supporting Actor nominees are Sam Elliott, Star is Born,
Yep.
Brian Tyree Henry, If Beale Street Could Talk,
Yep.
Michael B. Jordan, Black Panther, Steve Yeun, Burning, Daniel Kaluuya, Widows.
Daniel Kaluuya Widows is one of those where
Very
it's
good.
like, I
Yeah.
want it in there.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Where the fuck is Grant? Where the fuck is Hugh Grant? Where the fuck is... you don't like
you know
Paddington
me.
too.
Yeah.
But
I gave that spot to Gleason.
Gleason's great in that movie. That once the scene, the pivotal Gleason scene where he turns,
Yeah.
is one of the I don't know
And here's my
40 best scenes of any film.
Right.
Right?
Not since the train came into the station.
Right.
Not since the workers left the factory.
The
in
Odessa
this film.
steps. And
If
then
you're
it's,
doing an
and
NBA
it's
comp,
Gleason.
like
Yeah.
I don't know, Julius Irving, like Moses Malone, like it's in the top 50.
Okay,
Right.
here's my argument
Muggsy
for,
Bogues.
for
Are we just going to
Gleason.
throw out names of
Yes.
players? Yeah.
Here's my argument for Gleason over Grant. Okay, because I knew that was going to be my hottest take this year. My argument for Gleason over Grant is he plays a character named Knuckles McGinty. End of argument.
What a great argument we just
No,
had.
here's my actual argument. Okay, I watched the film a second time with my family on Christmas Day.
I've seen the film, I think 5 times.
I had
which is
to
crazy.
arm wrestle my family into watching it.
Sure.
They thought this is some
It's a tough
Griffin
sell.
bullshit.
Right.
Since then, my
To be
family.
fair to your family,
it's some
on the
Griffin
surface,
bullshit.
it seems like some Griffin.
Agreed. I had to argue this isn't only. This is not exclusively some Griffin bullshit.
Transcends the usual Griffin bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
We watched it on Christmas. My whole family is into it. They can't stop talking about the Deuce.
Yeah.
That's what they call it, the Deuce P2.
Me too.
Everyone in my family is incensed that it got 0 nominations. But I was rewatching the film, and I was trying to pick, okay, am I going to go Gleason or Grant on this rewatch? And I said, here's the thing I got to give Gleason the edge for. This is an impossible balancing act he does, which is you genuinely believe that he is a dangerous convict.
Sure.
There is actual menace to this performance
Right.
and tension that he might murder Paddington. And
what
yet
would
it
that even
I'm
look
not
like?
really afraid that he's going to
never
murder.
goes too far in
Better
a
Call
children's film.
Priest is one of the best like one-liners in that movie.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
When you introduce him in that movie, you go, this guy's probably in prison for murder.
Yeah.
Right? And somehow he doesn't ruin the entire movie by bringing too much intensity. He's walking a fine line. And he's making a sweet marmalade.
He's making a sweet marmalade.
I think he's great. It's just that Hugh Grant, like, it's just one of those things where he comes into the movie, he's
Yeah.
a boss bitch.
It's a skill piece. He's doing a
playing-
lot of bits.
He does like 18 monologues
Right.
and various, but he's also playing that man's vulnerability so well.
yes.
Like from minute one, from when Paddington says the thing to him on stage.
Yeah.
It is obviously an amazing meta commentary on Hugh Grant.
Yes.
And
Oh, yeah.
then at the end of the movie, he's like, why don't I just do a Sondheim number?
Right.
In case you forgot that I'm incredible in this.
I'll say this. This is a year where there are no nominees presented by either of you or the Blankies that I disagree with.
Yeah.
These would be my next, 8 people. Like Hamilton, Grant, Elliott,
Yeah.
Tyree Henry. Like, these would all be my next bunch. This year had too many good supporting actor performances, and I chose to double down and fight for my guys.
Listen, and also counterpoint, say the Oscars, Sam Rockwell and Vice. Like, there's none of that bullshit in this room.
I'm shaking
None
my
of that in
head.
this room.
None of it.
I'm SMHing over here
Yes,
now.
I think all 3 of us agree. Sam Rockwell and Vice does what he's asked to do
For
well.
a minute and a half.
It's
Yeah,
a funny.
thank you.
Okay.
It's a funny scene. His 2 scenes are funny
He
that
does
I
it
remember.
well.
But it's not even that impressive of a W impersonation.
I
in my
think it's
opinion.
good.
It's okay.
I think it's good.
It's okay.
But it's like, for that performance to be that small in a movie that's that sloppy,
Yeah.
it has to be transcendent
Yeah.
for me to go, that deserves a slot in the 5.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Well,
Get
wait,
out of the
I'm trying to-
town.
Out of
who
the
is
whole town.
Who was the very obvious snub that, like, the Oscar? Who was
Well,
like
it was
sixth
Chalamet
there?
who you did not like. But
Right.
like, there's
God,
a
that's a
whole,
horrible
there's
They
a
choice.
snubbed
whole
the guy you
ocean
wanted
of,
to get left out for the other guy you wanted.
No,
not to
but there
get
was
in.
someone I was rooting for to sort of.
Well, Michael
there
B.
was-
Jordan.
to break
Because
in.
everybody was
Right.
sort of holding
Jordan
out
is
hope.
the one. Right.
We were all
Jordan would
holding
be
out
the
hope.
where that for some reason didn't catch fire.
And by the way, I still think
Should
he might
have.
win. I know I made that prediction a couple months back. I still think he might win
I'm
Best
holding
Supporting
out.
I
Actor.
love
I'm
Richard E.
holding it out
Grant.
for you.
To be
Yeah.
clear, I think that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
great performance.
A gentleman's wonderful.
Sam Elliott, I swear to God.
Richard E. Grant has been the only person who feels like has been making award season better for their presence in it. Everybody else who's been getting attention, it's been for negative ways.
He's the Paddington of Oscar season. Like, you feel like he's improving everyone he touches.
Yeah.
No, I know. I like it.
He's kind and polite. He makes everything right.
Who's your winner?
My winner is Tim Blake Nelson.
Oh, well, then shout him out then.
Yeah.
Give him a.
So you want to talk about like your argument?
I think he's great in that. Love him.
First of all, pure supporting performance.
Of course.
Right? Because it's like one segment in the film.
Well, everyone in that movie is a supporting performance.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But what I love about this performance is it's kind of my Grant argument where you go like, I feel like I take Tim Blake Nelson for granted because I always go, well, he's just this weirdo type and he comes in and he's a good flavor.
Yeah.
He's like a seasoning on the dish. I listened to his WTF and like totally forgot.
You locked the gates?
I locked the gates with TBN.
I had to think.
Right. And like, I totally forgot that he's like a Juilliard trained, like hyper intellectual Oklahoma Jew, who sounds nothing like his characters.
Right. Yeah. He's not like, oh, how you doing, Mark? All you get is dirty.
Right.
It's my favorite Tim Blake Nelson line in Minority Report.
Yes.
Dig up the past. All you get is
right, because
dirty.
he so often plays like slow creeps, which he does really well.
I think the first time I knew of him was Oh Brother. I'm trying to think if I had
that was
seen
his
him
first
in
really big acting.
Right. Yeah, that's the first thing I remember.
He was mostly a playwright and a director and
What a
everything
guy.
before that. But I was just listening to him talk about Buster Scruggs, and he was just underlying, not in like patting himself on the back way, but he was talking about why it's hard to work with the Coens.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, their language is super, super flowery.
Of course.
And super specific. They kind of need people who are theatrically trained because you really need to understand the rhythms of it. I had to learn guitar from scratch because I'm actually playing guitar in all those scenes. I had to horseback ride. I had to skill shoot.
The shooting. Yeah.
And I was like,
had to turn into an angel and float into the sky.
Right.
Yeah,
he had to do all that in camera.
Yeah.
But I was watching that performance and laughing for 10 straight minutes. I was like, this is the funniest thing anyone's done in years. And then I listened to this podcast and I was like, I was not appreciating how much work went into that.
Yeah.
And once again, what an
But also
impossible
because
line he's towing.
He's playing a guy who's so casual. He's just like, well, I'm Buster Scruggs. But his language is all those monologues he gives. Oh, it's so
he's in
great.
such control. And
What a
all
good
the
movie.
fucking physicality of him. I mean, the bit with him fucking hitting the slat in the table.
I mean, that's
like all this
the
shit
big
is
one,
incredible.
yeah.
I just think it's a meticulous, technically like impeccable performance that also is the funniest thing I've seen in
I
the
can't
last
wait
year.
to see Tim on stage next year.
Yeah.
Presenting this award.
It's going to be great.
Joe, who's your winner?
So mine was tough between, first of all, I think I am on the road to making Nicholas Hoult the Amy Adams of the Blankies.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I'm going to keep nominating
He's your
him,
guy.
but he's not quite the win yet.
Yeah.
Um,
You did give him the
No,
win
he
for
won.
Mad Max.
Oh, I did.
You gave him the Mad
Never
Forgot
mind.
that.
He got it first out of the gate. He
Yeah.
was someone who
He was-
won their first nomination.
Yeah.
I don't even
Alicia
remember.
Vikander?
Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
This is my Alicia Vikander.
That was the
As
other
we
part of
could
my
all say.
dream. My other part of my dream was that Alicia Vikander was going to win again. And we were all like, how did that happen twice?
Just like, oof. Okay.
Because
I
it was
love
like
her.
for like
Tomb
the
Raider.
Danish
Tomb Raider,
Girl
huh?
Part 2. She should win for Tomb Raider.
She should.
That's a great performance.
She's going to win.
That's maybe number 8 on my list
It's
for
a
the
color
year.
puzzle.
It's a color puzzle.
Joe, who's your winner?
Mine is Alex Wolff for Hereditary.
Okay, interesting.
Do we want to talk about this now, or do we want to talk about this when you bring up your lead actors?
Maybe.
Okay. All
Talk
right.
about it later. My winner is Stephen Yeun for Burning, which is
Oh, such a good performance.
Yeah.
maybe the performance of the year. Like an actor I've always thought was fine. Like
Did you watch Walking Dead?
watch Walking Dead
Okay.
for
He's
many
very-
years because of my
he's so
job in the
likable on
content
Walking
industry.
Dead. Sure. Yeah.
Very likable on Walking Dead, but I was never like, this is a fucking actor.
This is an actor, right?
And his spoiler scene in Burning is the greatest. I've never seen anyone play spoilering that well.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Sure.
Never.
It's really well done.
I
Sure.
can't believe
It's
it.
really well done.
18 million emotions go across his eyes.
Yes.
This is a guy who has been so remote that you're like, is he just like a rich jerk or is he a psychopath?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
And he's been playing that, keeping you guessing. So, and then at the end of the movie, you're just like, holy shit. Like everything is suddenly coming to the surface with this guy.
Yeah.
It's a very good point. I'll say this. I never watched Walking Dead, so I've only been introduced to him.
He's in like Okja and like
right,
the
all these things
supporting
where I'm
roles.
going, like, this guy's really interesting, but everyone else is mostly talking about his performances through the prism of like, oh, it's so different than Glenn.
Right. I walked out of Burning. I had such a conundrum of just like, am I just really attracted to Stephen Yeun, or is he the greatest actor?
is
he
and
is
you know
a
what?
gorgeous
It's
guy.
both
Very
of them.
handsome.
He uses it so
My
well.
Boy,
Burning
is he
review,
hot.
my Burning review
He's-
got incredible traffic on the Atlantic, which is weird for a
Yeah.
arty South Korean film that's almost 3 hours long. And I'm certain it's because I picked a very sexy picture of Stephen Young.
There's
Like,
no
for-
shortage of those too. But you would. That's another one where you watch The Walking Dead and it's just like, I'm not hot for Glenn. Like, I don't understand. And then you watch Burning and you're just
a
like,
little hot for Glenn.
now I am. I mean,
Call
like
me
maybe
Lauren
retroactively.
Cohan. That's the one he's with.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
And the Blankies chose Daniel Kaluuya.
Well, he's fantastic in that movie. I mean,
he's good at staring at folks.
He's good at staring at folks, but he's also like, he is so good at like that could just be a one-dimensional Terminator, and instead, we'll get to it. It's a movie I really love this year.
The One-Dimensional Terminator? It's a great movie.
Wait, Terminator Flatland. Just like, he's bored. He's not into this.
Yeah, he hates it.
He's
over
not
it.
into it.
That's
right.
the him going to watch TV while they attack.
Yeah,
him.
he was just like, I don't know why you want to do politics.
There's no joy left for him.
Yeah. And he's just like back for he's ruined, from war and from whatever else has happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's bored to shit.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make it interesting every time that he has to do a scary thing.
Yeah.
And you can see him being like, I'm kind of half into this.
Yeah.
And then at the end he's finally excited, and that's what does him in. Anyway.
Someone's a rap tap tapping at that door. I think I hear a ding dong.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Ding dong.
Answer the door.
Hey, it's me.
Who is it?
Bruce Willis.
What, Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis.
You're very quiet, Bruce.
Well, I guess
Ben's
you haven't
turning
paid
you
me
up.
yet.
How you doing, Bruce?
You know me, I only do ad reads for $1 million. $1 million per ad read.
Yeah, that's true.
So give me my money.
Here you go. Ben, do you have the briefcase?
Yeah, I got the suitcase.
Dig into the blank check millions.
Here you are.
Give me the ready
on
watch
balance. I mean, I think this ad's going to be a money loser for us because of that. But it's worth it for the exposure.
I don't think so, because when you give Bruce Willis $1 million, you get movie star wattage. Ready? I'm like the Popeye of money. You give me money in my hand, and I turn on and I activate, and I become a great magnetic presence. Ready for the
money?
Ready for the switch? 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. Thing is, when you start to notice hair loss, it's too late. Like me, Bruce Willis. It's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost.
I think
Is that
you were
hairline
losing your hair in
slowly-
like 1987.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I only have 2 minutes. You only paid me $1 million. Now, if you want this to go into 3 minutes, you got to give me another $1
I was saving that for Adrian Brody.
You're tiptoeing into 2 mil territory. I'm warning you. No more interruptions.
Usual blank check ding dongs would cost us in the realm of $7 to $8 million.
So you're going for $4 million now? Is that what it feels like? You want to keep bidding?
What are you, a math teacher?
Hey, let me ask you a fucking question, wise guy. How will you feel a year from now if it's business as usual up there?
Mm-hmm.
I ask you, David Sims. I, Bruce Willis, ask you, David Sims. Do you want a bald spot to pop up, or do you want to do something about it first? Do you want your hairline to recede, or do you want to do something about it first? Do you want to be stuck wearing an embarrassing toupee and an otherwise immaculate Sixth Sense, or do you want to do something about it first? Why do guys turn to weird solutions or do nothing when they can turn to medicine and science? I'm Bruce Willis.
Bruce,
Yeah.
why don't you just go to forhims.com, the one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men?
Oh, so you're taking my lines now, too?
This is supposed to be an exchange,
Okay, give me a chance to motivate my audience. I'm going to choose 1 to 2 copy points to rotate into my spot, okay? If you want a third, you got to pay me another $1 million.
No, it's fine, too. It's fine.
Okay, ready? Here are a couple of copy points. Here's one I'm picking randomly. No waiting room. No awkward in-person doctor visits. Save hours by going to forhims.com. Here's my other copy point. So easy.
That's the whole point.
You want to give me another $1 million? I'll pick a third.
I'll pick a third. The products are shipped directly to your door. After you answer a few questions, the doctor reviews and prescribes you.
What's the deal? This guy jockeying for above the title?
All right,
What's
Bruce,
going on?
Bruce,
here?
do the call to action.
Okay, I'm going to do a call to action. Let me tell you in advance, this section is mandatory. You got to order now. My listeners, because this is my fucking podcast now, get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now while supplies last. See website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or pharmacy, or millions if you asked Bruce Willis to plug it. Go to forhims.com/check. That's forhims.com, forhims.com/check. Forhims.com/check. Go see the Lego Movie 2, the second part, in theaters right now. Bruce Willis out.
He is in it.
Wow.
Wow.
Stop the clock.
Wow.
He wasted no time leaving this studio.
He ran.
I think he's got 6 more movies to
But
film.
what's that? A puddle of shallow water on the way out.
Oh, no.
Oh, Bruce. Bruce, no. Bruce, avoid.
Bruce has tripped and fell into the puddle. And
that's
Bruce
all.
Willis, our greatest movie star.
Wait, but the briefcase.
Oh, the briefcase.
Yoink.
Okay, we'll just hold on to him.
Yeah.
This for him.
Bruce Willis, dead at the age of 63.
All right, Best Supporting Actress. Say, here are last year's winners.
Okay.
Griffin Newman selected Holly Hunter in The Big Sick,
Classic Griff pick.
a.k.a. Griffin's mom.
Repping my mom.
Southern style.
Yep.
David Sims picked Lori Metcalf, as did Joe Reid and the Blankies.
Yeah,
Lori, triple win.
The year of the mom.
One of the great performances.
Agreed, which only has been topped by her work on The Conners this season. My nominees for Best Supporting
She's been great on
Actress.
The Conners.
She has, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
My nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Haley Lou Richardson, Support the Girl.
She's so good in that.
Dolly Wells, Can You Ever Forgive Me? A performance
great.
everyone should be talking
Great
about.
performance.
Zoe Kazan, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Elizabeth Debicki in Widows. And Sakura Ando in Shoplifters.
That's the lead performance,
well,
my friend.
that's my one category where I'm being a little tricky.
You're being tricky because that's a lead performance.
I'd argue it's an ensemble film, much like your argument with
the
Hereditary.
parents are the leads.
I would argue the dad's the lead and everyone else is supporting.
If she wasn't with the cops at the end, I'd be with you, but no. She's the lead
But the
of
problem
movie.
is, her with the cops at the end is what gets her the nomination.
Yeah, she's the lead.
Catch-22.
Catch 22.
We'll talk about her later.
Okay.
In lead act.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
If you guys are ready to argue about lead versus supporting, do I have a lineup for you?
Oh,
We
boy.
got some. Okay, ready? Supporting actress. Let's go.
Supporting actress, Olivia Colman in The Favorite.
She was
Throwing
my
it out
number
there.
6. If I put her in, she was going to be in supporting. So I agree 100%.
We'll talk about it in a second. Elizabeth Debicki in Widows.
Mhm.
Regina King in If Beale Street Could Talk.
Mhm.
Molly Parker in Madeline's Madeline.
Great performance.
Joe pick.
Great performance.
Very Joe
Classic Joe
Classic
pick.
Joe
Fantastic
pick.
performance.
Classic Joe pick, even to the point that I don't know if I even love the movie.
But you love
she's
that
fantastic.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Rachel Weisz in The Favorite.
Mm-hmm.
She rules.
Coleman, Debicki, King, Parker, Rachel Weisz.
Okay.
I
There we
got Elizabeth Debicki in Widows.
Yes.
Mhm.
Threefer.
The only one.
The
Okay.
only one. Haley Lou Richardson in Support the Girl.
Okay.
Regina King in If Beale Street Could Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Lively in A Simple Favor.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
And Michelle Yeoh in Crazy Rich Asians.
That's a great one, too.
Are you going to arrest David for stealing 2 Joe picks for his own category?
Those are two very Joe-esque
Those are
selections.
2 real Joe picks.
Here's the thing, though. Well, no, because I love The Shallows. I was going to say, like, I had never been on the Blake train.
No.
But The Shallows, I bought, like, a one-way ticket. You know, I was
But
like,
The
I'll take
Shallows
a-
isn't
I'll take a
exactly a
trip.
performance. Like
Now I
there
have,
are
like, a
other
season
things in
pass.
The
I would
Shallows
disagree.
that are-
I think obviously the masterful directing of Jean Colatsera, but I also think that that's an incredible performance. That was the first time I
Sure.
believed in her as an actor.
she's good, but I feel like the thing about The Shallows is like also the shark jumping out of shallow water and like eating that person. Like,
Oh.
Well, and also,
Rules.
guys, look, it's 2019. Okay, we shouldn't be talking about this because we're far from the Shallows now.
yes, it's true.
Best supporting actor. We're far from the Shallows now.
The law. It's,
There's
was-
no doubt.
In the Lows. The best supporting actress as chosen by the Blankies, Elizabeth Debicki in Widows. The only person
four
that
for
all
four.
4. Regina
She's
King
amazing.
at Beale Street Could Talk, Haley Lou Richardson Support the Girls, Emma Stone the favorite, Rachel Weisz the favorite.
It's a great
I should say Haley Lou Richardson was a close 6th on mine. So
star she is.
it's deceptively good too because it's surfacey. It's just like, oh, she's
Yep.
just very bubbly.
Right.
And like that, I mean, obviously the scene where she pops out of the back door and sets off the little pop gun
So
next to Regina Hall took me by such surprise. I cackled in delight.
Well, and here's
like
the
a
metric
child.
I use to argue for the skill of that performance. It's a very well written film,
Yes.
right? Andrew Brzezowski, very good writer. But that is a
Nodding.
performance where you could hire someone who was just bubbly and they would service the film well.
Right.
That character does not need to be played as skillfully as it is. Everything that elevates that character is what she's contributing to the film.
And you look at her in that last scene where they're all up on the roof, and it's so good.
And it's also, I hate actors who clearly play unintelligent or unsophisticated characters with condescension.
Yes.
with contempt.
You can tell, I think this character is dumb. And she is clearly locked into what is great about this person, who just sees the world so clearly and so joyously around her. It's a wonderful performance. She's the movie star tomorrow.
Is she your winner?
She is not.
Who's your winner?
My winner is Sakura Ando for Shoplifter.
Incredible performance.
Category fraud. But that
Incredible
final scene,
lead
that's the performance of the year for me.
It's
that final scene with her talking to the police, when she starts rubbing her face, it blew my mind because I go, how does any actor come up with that choice?
The best scene of, like, in a movie this year, beating the Marmalade scene, where she hugs the girl.
Yes, this is what love feels.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I need a break.
That's an incredible performance, and I'm being tricky and
gonna
giving her
start
Best
crying.
Supporting Actress because I want to give her an award.
You're a fucking trick.
I'm a fucking trickster.
Do we use the debicki of it all here to talk about why Widows didn't do it?
Yeah, I mean, it'll come up more certainly on this episode, knowing that
it just makes me so
yeah.
mad.
Yeah.
Just makes me so
I think
mad.
that movie's too frosty for people.
Yeah.
Some people. It's
Yeah.
too Michael Manny.
Yeah.
And
McQueen's never going to be all that populous.
But don't you feel like
this is him being popular.
they
Right. This is his version of it.
don't you think they Fox Searchlight, who are usually very smart about these things, kind of settled on the boast of
It's
the
not
worst?
Fox Searchlight, it's Fox.
Oh, it's Fox. It's Big Fox.
Yeah.
Fox.
So that's maybe the key, because they did a sort of like neither nor kind of
marketing.
worst of both worlds
The marketing was
campaign.
bad because the marketing was like dark and intense
Right.
and like big block letters and a lot of like washed up black backgrounds with
Right.
just actors and you're like what is this?
But I
again?
also think they made it look like for mainstream audiences, it was like, this looks like too heady and like some Oscar bullshit. And for Oscar people, it looked too much like a
genre
thriller.
movie.
Right. I feel like there is a world in which they could have just really put together a false advertising campaign for that movie and gotten a $20 million opening weekend.
Maybe.
And it would have dropped like a stone afterwards, but it would have ended up with a higher total.
Yeah.
It would have gotten more people to see it.
Where do you think it ended?
Or I think they could have platformed it. Where do I think it ended?
Yeah, they probably should.
45?
Yeah, 42. It's too bad. Anyway, Widows fucking rules. We're going to be talking about Widows a lot, but who's your winner?
Debicki comes close, but it's Weisz. It's Rachel Weisz. She's the
Rachel
best
Weisz.
person. She's the best performance in The Favorite. She's so incredibly watchable and funny, but like not ever. You never see her going for the joke, but she's
I agree with
so
That's a
freaking
good
funny in that.
Good way of putting it.
Romley saw The Favorite and just said, so she's just the coolest person in the world.
so
And I was like,
fucking
that's
cool.
pretty much a good
When,
summation of
when
it.
you dress her that way too,
Yeah.
it's like, whew.
But just everything she does is cool.
I'm so glad she has endured.
Yeah,
as, like,
I was
an
really
icon.
worried she was going to be the one of the three left out when I saw that movie.
Me too.
But it also feels like when...
It's only her second Oscar nomination.
Right.
Yeah,
when
which
she
is
got
crazy.
nominated
It is.
and won for Constant Gardener, that felt like a comeback because it was like, oh, that lady from The Mummy, she sort of disappeared for a couple of years.
Yep.
And
Still a weird win.
a very
It
weird
is.
win.
Well, it's weird. It's a weird sweep. She like swept that
Yeah,
year.
she was the winner. She was like almost immediately. Everyone was like, "It's
was-
her."
And the
Very
thing
odd,
about that
yeah.
year was it was a lot of new. It was
And she's
Weisz's
good in the movie,
first.
but she's
Amy
like,
Adams.
Amy Adams is first. Wait, there was a third. Michelle Williams is first.
oh, right.
All that
Yeah,
year, and
yeah.
it was in the early stages. It was like, oh, who of this sort of, and Keener was nominated
Right.
that year, and it's like who of this like mass of like interesting,
Yes.
newish sort of presences on the Oscar stage
Yeah.
at least.
I don't
is
think
going to
anyone
emerge.
was predicting Vice, and then Vice won literally everything.
Everything.
It does feel like she was one of those people where you go, ooh, this is someone who might fall prey to the Best Supporting Actress curse. And then she's had a robust career.
And she's
she has
worked with a lot of
consistently
great
done
directors.
interesting fucking work since winning an Oscar.
My winner's Elizabeth Debicki.
Yeah,
What a performance!
she's
This gun show
phenomenal.
scene
And
the fucking
the Blankies
auction
also
scene.
chose
Yeah.
Elizabeth Debicki.
That I mean, I fought so hard for that at the Critics Circle.
That
And,
last. I wish. Oh,
And that's a
I
real
wish.
Star is Born performance. I
Yeah.
mean, we're obviously
She rules.
hip people. We've been wise to Debicki for a while, but this is one
yeah.
of those performances where you go like, you can't fucking deny this thing.
What was,
She's
I'm
a
trying to think of the
powerhouse.
first thing I remember seeing her in because it was before
Gatsby was what I
Gatsby.
remember
I
seeing
think
her
Gatsby
first.
was the first thing I
That's
saw
what
her
it was.
Yeah.
and where I was like, who is
Right.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
How tall is
Man
she?
from Uncle, she's fantastic.
Oh, she's my height.
Guardians, she's fantastic.
Rules in
So
Guardians.
good in Guardians.
People
Yeah.
don't stand for that legend. to
Incredible
know.
in the tail this year. Incredible performance.
Yeah.
A very difficult performance to navigate.
Night Manager.
Night Manager, she's
That's great.
amazing.
I mean,
That
movie
shot
did-
of
that show didn't have enough night managing. But
That's
apart from that, she was
for my taste. She and Hollander, I think, are the highlights of Night Manager. Like everybody's good in that. But
Everyone's-
like
I forget who tweeted this, and someone retroactively apply the credit where credit is due. But one of our critic friends tweeted after Widows, one of the reasons why Widows rule so hard is it's the first movie to just let Elizabeth Debicki be 6'3".
yeah,
Right.
let her be tall. Yeah.
Right. Because I remember James watching The Night Manager and being like, this Elizabeth Debicki, she's the next movie star, but how do you put her in movies when she's that tall? What do you do with her?
Right.
And Steve McQueen was like, just let her be that tall.
She's a tall, fragile bird in this movie that becomes the strong.
She's so good.
Just want to say some other things. One, Lucas Haas is amazing in Widows.
Agreed.
He didn't make my list, but it's
a great performance.
A great performance and a crucial
and
character.
what a surprise.
A crucial character.
With that many big movie stars like on the poster, you don't expect Haas to get that much of a meaty role.
I remember
Mike
Ryan telling me that when he interviewed Steve McQueen, who is famously can be tetchy in an interview, can be like...
Well, he's a garbage man.
New York
Mike Film
Ryan
Critics
said
Circle
something
Award.
like, yeah.
Right.
I want people can look that up.
Armand White called him a garbage man.
Yeah.
I want to make it clear that I'm not calling him a
I
garbage
know.
man. I think he's a fine director.
Yeah, he's a great director. Mike Ryan brought up the Lucas Haas thing, and Steve McQueen was like, "No one has asked me about him. He is so important. Like, I'm so happy." It was like
Such
clapping,
a good performance.
and was immediate. Anyway, Blake Lively in A Simple Favor, people.
Blake Lively.
Hello.
She's doing a lot. I will say the praise for Blake Lively in that movie, because in my sort of gayer Twitter circles,
sure,
there was a lot of people on the Blake Lively train, to the point where I was like, but Anna Kendrick, because I also think Anna Kendrick is
in
doing
that movie.
really good work,
Love
and
her
deceptively good work in that movie. But yeah, Lively is a glamorous fashion plate psycho. Like,
well put.
I shamefully, as taking my bagel out of its bag an hour into this episode, revealed that I still have not seen A Simple.
You got to see it.
Oh, it's good.
Simple Favor. Sorry,
Michelle Yeoh. I mean, like,
we stand a legend.
We stand a legend. It is. It's sort of like, what do you? It's like an elegance performance. Like, it's like she can do that shit in her sleep. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, you need the scene. The movie revolves around
the
the
opening
scene
in
of
the
her.
mahjong.
Yeah.
I would say the scene of her on the staircase, where she's sort of like, "You think you're winning me over, and you have failed."
Yeah.
Where she says like, "You will never be good enough."
Right. Sure.
And then, of course, the mahjong scene.
But the opening, the fucking hotel opening is
fantastic.
unbelievable.
Fantastic,
yeah.
of course. Like,
also,
yes.
The fact that she's the only movie star in the world who could have done that performance with that amount of
gravitas.
Star quality gravitas, she's the only person.
Yes.
And the movie is, in my opinion, and this is not like even that hard to take, it's a romantic comedy about fucking Constance Wu and Michelle Yeoh falling for each other.
Right.
And that's why it ends with
it's a good take.
Henry Golding is literally just a puppet proposing with his mother's ring.
Yeah.
Like, like that, the mother is proposing to her.
The weakest element of that movie is the romance between Constance Wu and Henry Golding.
Doesn't matter. There's a million movies like that with girls who are like,
yeah.
And that's what Golding's doing, and that's all I need from him. I need nothing else. I don't want drama from him.
It's a romantic comedy.
Exactly.
A romantic comedy.
So we did all our winners?
I just want to throw in Molly Parker for 1 second.
Sure.
I love her.
We've seen that character, that sort of like flighty, too much of an actress character.
Yeah.
But she brings a Molly Parker darkness to it that you suspect her.
You're saying she gives it an MPD.
Just an MPD.
Yeah, it's a classic MPD performance.
Molly Parker
she's throwing a little
darkness.
MPD on it.
Yeah. I don't know. She elevates so much of that character.
She elevates.
Yeah.
She gets some air.
She gets some air in that. Yeah.
Okay, do we want to do Best Actor?
Sure.
Yeah.
Who are our winners last year?
Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. The winners last year were, for Griffin and David, Daniel Kaluuya in Get Out. And the Blankies.
So good.
And for Joe, Timothy, I Was Bad and Beautiful Boy Chalamet in Call Me By Your Name.
Man.
I know, I'm being mean.
I think he's good in Beautiful Boy.
I don't
even think he's not bad. I think he's actively good.
I think I tweeted something like, he's grating and mannered, and someone replied to me like, the only way he's grating and mannered is when he says please and thank you when the waiter is offering him Parmesan.
To be fair.
Great joke.
Great joke.
I mean, a gentleman's joke.
It's stuck in my head for months.
A gorgeous joke.
Go. What were you going to say, Joe?
I don't know. I think that's not a great movie that he's the one great part of.
I like Carell in that movie. I'm the only person with this opinion
to die on.
I like him in that movie. I think he nails it.
Wow.
That movie is about how if you have money, it won't. Money can't
stop
drug addiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas like Ben is Back, which is another kind of crummy movie on this topic, is about how like drug addiction turns everyone into an addict. Like, because it's about how Julia Roberts is behaving like an addict. She won't return her call. You know what I mean? She's like doing
screaming
weird shit
at people in town.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like the theme of Ben and Back a little more. Ben is Back a little more.
Yeah.
But I think Carell nails it.
I just think Ben is Boy was the best of the three. And for me, I don't even want to talk about the
Ben
other
is
two.
a beautiful boy erased.
Yeah. Claire Foy narrates the whole thing in her.
Beautiful Foy. Did you guys see Beautiful Foy?
Beautiful Foy. bunch of beautiful boys.
Okay, best actor. I'm gonna make a shotgun decision because there's 6 people and I've had a tough time. So I'm gonna ask that you guys go. One of you goes first.
All right, I'm gonna continue the theme of category confusion. Mahershala Ali in Green Book.
Wow,
throwing it down.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take that.
I'll buy what you're
lead.
selling.
He's the lead, but it's mostly that
Viggo
people
is
don't like that movie, but I think
lead.
he's great.
I think you can't argue with his skill as an actor.
He's great in a very different way than he's great in Moonlight.
Right, that movie is a disaster if he's not in it.
Oh, fully.
Because I think
it's almost a disaster with him.
It is a disaster with him in it. But I'm saying no one would go for that movie if he wasn't doing his work.
He brings so much integrity.
And here's
to that
the thing,
movie.
Viggo,
and he's playing a character whose the integrity matters to him so much.
Yeah.
Like
Viggo's performance is good in that movie for what they're asking him to do.
Fold
but
a pizza
also,
in half and eat it. Yep.
Also, that movie would still work if, like, fucking,
the guy who played Vito in The Sopranos was in that role.
Clay.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm
fucking
trying to
know.
think of a joke that's mean, but someone I don't want to be mean.
Joe
for.
Reid on just to play in that role.
You mean if I was just like, "Hey, fuck you! I'm from the Bronx," and I'm like driving a car, and
So
like that's the movie.
If the movie was Sims and Mahershala Ali, it would still work as well as it does.
Actual Mario from the video game.
This is.
like,
I think.
I think Viggo's good too, but I think that
It's
performance is a Mad TV character.
It is. I mean, it is.
It is.
But then the thing is,
the movie doesn't know how to
you
reconcile
see Nick
any
Vallelonga.
of that.
Nick Vallelonga is.
You are
headphones off.
Freaking riled up.
Watching David Sims be animated is such a treat. I have to say, listeners,
People
you don't know.
understand how much he does
I
Kermit
talk
arms
with my
while
hands.
talking.
great.
I talk with my
But it's
hands.
not. You don't talk with your hands. You talk with your elbows.
I do. Nick Vallelonga.
The hands are a byproduct.
Is the son of Tony?
I'm
right?
aware.
But even that guy, I'm like, that's a fucking Sopranos chiseler background character.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me that guy is real? Where he's like, hey, I did a song about New York for the firefighters. Have you listened to his firefighters? It's a masterpiece.
I think it's
Ben, play it right now.
I think it's so
Drop
weird.
it in.
Ben, drop it in. Drop it in, Benny. Drop it in. I think
It's like Times Square and Lincoln Center. There's so much to do in New York. Like, that's what it is.
I'm thinking of a movie. It's like a comedy. I want to say it's Analyze This, but I can't remember. Does De Niro have like henchmen in Analyze This who are like funny?
Joe
Who are
Vittorelli.
like
Joe Vittorelli.
with
One
the
of the
face,
great actor.
the face of like a very full bagel, like a very sort of like
yes, indeed, my friend. Yes, indeed.
All right,
Joe
that's what I was
Vittorelli
thinking
looks like 18 pounds of gravel were shot into his
and
face.
his character is named Jelly.
Joe Vittorelli is so fucking funny and Analyze This.
We stand a Jelly.
So that's the kind of guy
Let's
I'm thinking
do the
of.
Analyze This franchise for our commentary.
You should.
This and that. We're doing them.
You should.
What are you guys doing next? Oh, a little this, a little that.
That'll be the one where I like.
There's this
Little
scene.
this, little
There's this scene where like De Niro rants at Chaz Palminteri for like a full minute in mob mode, and Chaz Palminteri goes like, "Hey, like, well, I forget what his name is. Like, hey, Robert, fuck you." It's just so funny.
Kenny Lonergan, writer on Analyze This.
Yes, although he said his script was thrown out.
He
but
says
he
he's
is
also
credited.
never watched it.
Yeah.
You
So he
remember
does.
when Lisa
What does he
Kudrow hosted the MTV Movie Awards
course.
because she was promoting Analyze?
It had already come
This?
out, and
Yeah, my
she says
friend.
to Crystal,
It-
like,
we made 100.
Yes,
We all. That's what
the only
unites
people
the three
in the
of us.
world who would get that.
The reason why the three of us found each other
Yeah,
in this
basically.
dark world is that we all held up a flare gun that said,
I remember
does anyone
that
else
year's MTV
remember
Movie Awards.
when Lisa Kudrow said we made 100?
Remember she was in a
All right.
sketch about the round table in Phantom Menace?
Right, but that opener was her with Dr. Evil.
Yes.
And at the end, Dr. Evil took off his mask and revealed that he was actually Billy Crystal.
Wild.
Sounds great.
They were in Dr.
right, I do
Evil's
remember that.
volcano base.
All right, so after Mahershala Ali,
Yeah,
Shit,
sorry.
we're still in the middle. Okay.
Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born.
Oh yeah, good performance.
I'm going to leave my third one to the last because it's a Griffin pick.
My camp buddy Brad.
Ethan Hawke in First Reformed. Lakeith Stanfield in Sorry to Bother You.
Uh-huh.
And in the Griffinist I will get on this ballot, Tom Hardy in Venom.
Wow.
Get ready, baby.
Wow.
Here are my
so
five.
good.
Here are my
Okay.
five.
Okay.
Ethan Hawke in First Reform.
Uh-huh.
Very similar to you.
Yeah.
Bradleymius Cooper. Jackson Maine in A Star Is Born.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Ben Foster
Good pick.
in Leave
Mhm.
No
Good
Trace.
pick.
John Cho in Searching.
Great pick.
Tom Hardy
Yeah.
in Venom.
Yes. 3 for 3. 3 for 3. 3 for 3.
So do you remember when...
A no-brainer, in my opinion.
Do you remember when...
A no fucking brainer.
He's great.
Yes.
I cannot believe...
The only competition was Brian King. He came on late. Brian King was like, put me in the fucking category with like a spear. Go on. I remember.
I cannot believe. Do you remember when you had seen Venom and I said, is Tom Hardy going to win my Blankies this year? And you said, no, but you're definitely going to nominate him?
Sure.
I am the only one who didn't nominate Tom Hardy for Venom.
Insane. Your rules.
And not only that, when I said like shotgun decision, I'm picking between 6. He's not even in my 10.
Well,
Wow.
it's a weirdly, it's an odd category this year. From an Oscar perspective, it's uncrowded.
Correct.
Like they were almost reaching for people.
But there are good performances that
Lots
were
of great
never in the
performances.
conversation.
We got to look in the more sort of like, weirdo, genre movies. Tom Cruise was my miss.
Okay, so here's my list, and I'll tell you what my 6 miss was, and I wish I could have found a space for him because I think it's an interesting performance that no one's talking about.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix, you were never really here.
I think that's a great.
Alex Wolff, Hereditary. Tommy Cruise, Mission Impossible, Fallout.
Sure.
Adam Driver, Black Klansman. A lead, I say.
No.
A co-lead.
He's great in that movie.
A
So
split
good.
He is great in that movie.
lead, Adam Driver.
He is
for
the
Black
puppet.
Klansman.
He's the puppet.
I say a co-lead, no puppet. No puppet. And my 5th nominee is Lakeith Stanfield. Sorry to bother you.
Which is a good performance.
My 6th guy who I want to sneak in there, John C. Reilly and the Sisters Brothers.
Get him in there.
And he's really also good
I would say
in the
get him
Laurel
in.
and Hardy movie in a way that, like, he's way better than anything in that movie should
But
be.
who do
I think Coogan's good in that.
I think they're
Riley
both
bugged
good.
me in
Yeah?
that movie. Well, it was just
Actually, I think all 4 lead, because also
Yeah, the
Shirley
girls are
Henderson
good.
and Nina
Nina
Arianda
Arianda.
are
they're
fantastic.
good. They're good. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Who do I lose to put Riley in?
Driver. He's not a lead. He's not. I'm sorry. He's not.
Every year
John
I
David
talk
Washington
about how
is
good
the
Adam
lead of that
Driver is,
movie.
and then I always knock him out of my categories at the last second.
Oh, so it's residual guilt here.
It is, and I kind of want to put Riley in above Driver.
He's been in my lineup for like 3 of the last 4 years.
God,
so
me
I
too.
have
I've
no
nominated
such
him a
guilt.
lot.
I apologize, Adam. I'm knocking you out for the 3rd year in a row. John C.
Totally.
Riley is my 5th nominee for Best Actor.
You tweeted that you would vote for John David Washington in the SAGs.
Yes. From that group?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't nominate any of the Best Actor.
I understand. I just thought he might make
That John David
was your winner
Washington
pick.
missed out at the last second for Defoe and at Eternity's Gate, who's not bad, but like is
I haven't
not in
seen that
any
one.
way
Putting Defoe
necessary.
over Hawke and Washington seemed odd to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Weird.
is stupid.
Yeah. Okay, winners. Oh, let me read the Blankies.
Oh yeah,
The Blankies chose, that's Hulu where I've been watching King of the Hill. The Blankies chose, I was trying to find the right.
But Netflix is where you're watching Taxi, or is it all
Both
on
on,
Hulu?
both on Hulu. I'm a Hulu guy these days. I'm sticking with the green. Best actor. I reopened my own list. Best actor from the Blankies is Bradley Cooper from Bunk 3, A Star is Born. Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, Fallout. Ben Foster, Leave No Trace. Ryan Gosling, First Man.
Good performance.
Ethan Hawke, First Reformed.
Good performance.
Who are our winners?
as much as I feel often left out of the enthusiasm for First Reformed, I like get it on an intellectual level, but I don't feel like, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's a club that's not for me. Ethan Hawke's my number one.
Wow.
Bradley Cooper.
Wow.
Obviously. Like, people will weep in shame. John Bailey's last thought as he dies will be, what the fuck was going on with Star is Born? What the fuck happened there?
I'm going to walk the walk. Joaquin Phoenix, Best Actor.
You love that movie.
I love that movie. I'm all in.
I hate
Joaquin.
that movie.
I'm all in. You hate that
I
movie?
hate-
He
this is
hates
not
it.
a surprise.
Oh, boy.
This is I
Wow.
hate all of the scumbum movies that that
Right,
are
you
like,
hated Good Time, too.
I hated Good Times.
You hated
Get
Good Time, too.
Out of here.
Ben, come on.
I'm going to get my hammer out.
Ben just took out a flaming
What,
sword.
what about the cards?
that no.
Oh,
You might want to throw a joke.
here's the hammer card for you.
That's what he means when he says the hammer.
The Blankies chose Ethan Hawke for Best Actor as well.
That was the critic circle, like almost unanimous.
It just felt like that was
It's an
going to be
incredible
the sort of Lifetime Achievement award this year.
He's got a lot of lifetime ahead of him.
He does. But he's been working for so long. I guess.
I've nominated him like 50 billion times. I love Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
He's like my favorite actor.
Can I tell you, he was on my long list for Best Supporting Actor for, why am I forgetting the fucking name of it now?
I don't know.
Juliet Naked?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
I was going to say Love Rosie, which is a different
I
movie.
like it when he plays, kind of like
He's really good in that. And it's kind of
You know.
him doing the meta, like, I'm
Yeah.
acknowledging
This
what
is-
my reputation
If
was.
Troy
for 20
Dyer had actually
he
like
plays
made
the
a
same
success of
character
himself
in
at some point. Yeah.
Maggie's Plan,
Yes,
basically.
Yeah.
which he's really good in that too.
Yes.
But he's just so
an
fucking
underrated
funny
movie.
in
It is
Juliet
a great
Naked.
movie. Yeah, no, he is.
Yeah.
I love Hawk.
Yeah.
I love Hawk.
I
You love Hawk.
But are you kidding me? I've nominated him 7 times. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wait, what are the 7 I want to
Well,
hear?
you know what? It's 6 times because John Hawkes was getting included in my, and 2 of them are screenplays.
Wait,
but you know,
is it 2 of the 3
so
before?
The 2 Sunrise you nominate for screenplays, the last 2?
Correct.
And then what are your other nominees?
He's not credited as a screenwriter on the first one.
Right.
So it's 4 acting nominations.
Correct.
Training Day?
Nope.
No.
I love him in that, though.
Yeah.
Salt on Precinct 13.
I'll just tell you.
Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets. I'm
Love
trying to think of the other performances you would have nominated.
It's First Reform, Boyhood, Before Midnight, and Before Sunset.
Yeah.
It's not even that
It's not,
complicated.
it's
So,
pretty straightforward.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So good. Bradley Cooper's the best actor. Get out of here. I'm mad about this.
Look, this is a good time to announce that he, of course, won Putters and Murmurs this year.
Wait,
and it was
I have a whole
cakewalk.
thing for Putters and Murmurs. I have like several nominations.
We'll get
for
into it. I mean, there are other good contenders this year. I just want to give him that credit because you texted me several months ago,
I
Joe.
did several months
and you
ago.
said, is this going to be the first year that the Academy Award winner for Best Actor also wins Putters and Murmurs?
Right.
Those two
Boy, was I
never
naive
line up.
back then.
We felt so confident this was going to be his year.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a thing where I was like, it's because I love the movie so much. I was more just sort of like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I
What
also
else is
agree
gonna-
with you that he's the undeniable element of that movie. And, you know, I have my reservations against that movie.
Ridiculous
Love that.
reservations. I've watched it so many times.
Yeah.
Kind of an embarrassing amount of times. It rules. It's
Yeah,
the
I know
best.
you love it.
Fucking
It's
rules.
like your Teen Titans go to the movies.
But I watched that, and that movie basically cured my plane anxiety for
Teen Titans?
82 minutes or however
Yeah,
long
that
it
movie
is.
rules, right?
So good.
Such good
Such
jokes.
a
I gotta
blast.
see it.
Have you
Such
seen it
good
yet?
No,
jokes.
because I was not aware of it. I didn't know what
is.
Teen Titans
First of all,
was.
yes. Once again, a gentleman's 82 with credits, which
Really?
is always
I
a
love
pleasure.
that.
Mhm.
I do
B,
love that.
The jokes are just unbelievable.
Yeah.
The on-set bathroom scene.
Great. I like the song with the pink balloon man.
Balloon Man.
That's fucking funny. Yeah, all right. Wait, did we say our winners? We said our winners.
We said
Cooper,
our winners? Yes.
Yes,
Hawk.
Guacamole.
Guacamole.
Joaquin Penis, as we used to say on our trivia team.
That's right.
Yeah. I know you think he's a ham sandwich. Now, you fall
like
between
that movie.
Joe and I in that movie.
I think it's great. I also think it's a good performance by him, but the performance by him I prefer this year is The Sisters Brothers.
Interesting.
I think that is something I hadn't seen from him in years, which is like kind of a genuinely funny performance that actually isn't that big. I was
Right.
worried he was
Right.
going to be like,
it's person sized.
usual
Yeah.
cartoon self in that.
Yeah, I just like...
I mean, Riley's great in it too.
Look, it's not like You Never Really Hear is a performance that I didn't think he could do or that the type I have not seen him do before, but I think he does everything so well. And I think there's one basic decision that sums up like how smart that performance is, which is that he gained a bunch of weight. Like that he knew it was more menacing to just be a brick
Hobo
than to
assassin.
be ripped. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, he was just like, those
he's
guys in
great.
real life aren't like cuts.
Right.
They're just like a mound. They're like
Right.
the juggernaut.
Right. And they'll just sort of like push you.
Right.
Oh,
Ding
is someone at the
dong.
door? Who we got?
Ding dong. I'm back, double or nothing. Give
Oh,
me
for
$4 million.
crying out loud.
It's me, Bruce
This
Willis.
is extortion. Give
You're
him
making
$1
a
million.
sequel? I'm back. You wrote me
Right.
into the contract for the sequel. $4 million.
Here's your suitcase.
Now, if you think I phone it in,
I thought you had died in the puddle.
I came back to life.
Oh my God. This is a breaking news story.
I came back to life. Nothing can stop Bruce Willis other than contract disputes. The only
will stop
thing
you
that
cold.
can stop Bruce Willis. Now, are you ready? If you thought I phoned it in before, wait to see how hard I come when I'm going in on a sequel, when I'm reprising a character that the audiences love. Are you ready?
Yep.
Hand me my money. You're going to see my
I
eyes
gave
light
you
up.
the money.
No, but now dramatically,
All
hand
right,
me the
here
money.
you go. It's in your hand.
Introduction and thought starters. Life can be stressful between work, family, and everything in between. It's not always easy to find time for yourself.
I'm glad you find this copy funny.
New bullet point. We all need someone to talk to. A person who can support us through rough patches like Demi Moore, or even the everyday ups and downs of life like my current wife whose name I'm forgetting. That's where Talkspace comes in. New bullet point. Talkspace is therapy for how we live today. Sub point. It's mobile. It's available when you need it, and it's affordable. Motivate. I said it that way because it's underlined your audience.
Bruce.
Parentheses. Talk about your experience with the product
Bruce,
/
can I
service.
do
and
some
parentheses.
motivations so that we maybe like do business with these companies again?
You got Bruce Willis, the biggest movie star in the world. What are they going to have to complain about?
Well, you no longer have to wait for your next appointment to talk about what's on your mind, because with Talkspace, you can send unlimited messages to your dedicated therapist from the privacy of your device any time of day.
Are you saying it's affordable? Sub bullet point, 1 month of therapy on the Talkspace platform costs about the same amount as a single face-to-face session. Best of all, you never have to wait a week to share what's on your mind on Bruce Willis.
Yeah, it's also helping teens live happier lives. Talkspace for Teens, 1 in 5 children deals with a mental health issue, and Talkspace has counseling service for teens age 13 and up.
Hi, this is producer Ben here. I use this service.
You do?
Yeah, I love it. I was struggling to find a therapist. I felt like
It's a pain in the ass.
It's such a pain in the ass.
It's genuinely a huge
like,
pain in the ass.
They, for whatever reason, are still like, you have to leave a voicemail. And this has made it so much easier to connect with a professional person that I could talk to at any time I wanted to.
That's very touching. This is producer Bruce Willis saying Talkspace has more than 3,000 licensed therapists who are experienced in addressing the challenges we all face. To match with your perfect therapist for a fraction of the price of additional therapy, go to Talkspace.com/check. Make sure to use the code check to get $45 off your first month.
Oh, he fell asleep in the middle.
Someone used the smelling salts.
Your first month and show your support for the show. I love this product. That's check and Talkspace.com/check. Okay, let me just walk out of here comfortable. Oh no, he fell face down in another pile. Now, I know we called our shot prematurely.
Take care of these puddles, Ben. Jeez.
Guys, we'll argue about this later. Bruce Willis just died and attention must be paid. For the second and final time, Bruce Willis has died.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the last time.
Best actress.
Best actress. Just want to say Tom Hardy rules.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe I didn't go all in for that.
Outrageous, really.
I'm genuinely shocked.
Here's the reason
It's
why.
just weird that the Blankies
I
are going
almost left
to
him
riot
off of
on
mine
Sunday.
because I was like, well, Griffin will have him.
I just hate that movie so much. I agree that his performance is wonderful.
I was so pre-sold on it being terrible.
Yeah.
That it soared over my expectations. It genuinely, I was like, this is like, I'm enjoying myself for some stretches of this movie. Okay.
My take on that movie, and I think I said this in previous episodes, it feels like a movie made in a world where Ben Affleck's Daredevil is the only other superhero movie that's ever been made. And they were like, so that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
Also, talk about blenders. I feel like this has not gotten enough attention. Tom Hardy with the tater tots in Venom is the ultimate blender. It serves no plot purpose. It doesn't tell you anything about the character.
Like, is there going to be... Yeah.
Right. He just clearly was like,
come
on, I want a specific. Let's make a tater tots.
And, all right, 2 other things I want to say about Mike. Foster in Leave No Trace, who got, like, that's an actor who struggles, or I struggle with.
Because he's so big so often.
He goes hard.
He goes
ham.
real hard, and I've talked about it many times in Hostiles. When he shows up, my reaction in the audience is shoot him in the head, bury him where he sits,
not risk it.
Don't take this man 1 foot. He's gonna eat your teeth.
Yeah,
and
we all, of course, remember Maldeath, the sorcerer, and Warcraft, the movie.
That's a great performance. I mean, that was just that was verite. They just went to his house.
The shirtless sculptor with long flowing golden locks.
He's good in this in the way he's good in The Messenger, though.
Sure.
And
that's my favorite.
He's good at the locked up.
Yeah.
Oh man,
he's better when you tell him to do less. And to his credit, he said that he took like a fucking razor blade to this script and said to Deborah Granick, I want as little dialogue as possible, and they cut it down together.
The scene that he murders is the scene where he says nothing at all, which is when he's doing the personality test.
Yeah.
And you can just see him wrestling with like, what do they think?
What do they want to hear?
What do I think of myself? And what am I supposed to say here?
That's his nomination.
And, oh my God. And then John Cho in Searching is just bravura. I mean, that man has to own the screen for the entire time.
In my 10. No question in my 10.
That movie is such an odd bird for me. I think you're right that Cho is very, very good and it grounds what is to be grounded in that movie. It's just such a strange execution and concept and everything that's going on in that movie.
It's really well written. I kept on feeling like it was going to fall into traps, and then I felt like they handled everything pretty well.
Also, that ending is screaming at you from the end of a hallway. So it's just like, it's happening. It's going to happen.
It surprised me.
It totally worked for me. It totally got me.
To me, it was that Roger Ebert thing of like, is there a character who serves no purpose in this movie?
Oh,
and
God.
it's like,
who
keeps showing up for no reason?
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. That movie was such a delight. I saw it in a theater with Emma Stefanski, like at the Regal Union Square, not a press screening. We just
That's where I saw it. I actually
really
just had a great time.
Saw it with Joey Sims
there you go.
at the Regal Union Square. Yep.
Best director.
No, actress.
Oh, we forgot to do actress. I'm sorry.
I will do actress last
Griffin
because it's the most important category. But okay.
Hey, give us the winners from last year.
The winners from last year are...
I forgot them.
Griffin's was Vicky Creeps.
Hell yeah, that's right.
Flying up a creep for us.
Yeah.
In Phantom Thread. David's was Saoirse Ronan and Lady Boyd. Joe's was Meryl Streep in The Post.
Wow.
Loved and still
And
loved.
the Blankies went for Hawkins in Shape of Water. They spread the wealth around.
That's
Four
I mean,
nice
those are all
winners.
4 good
the
winners.
quartet. They're all emerging. It's the 4 quadrants of
Yes.
stage that converge.
Yeah, right.
Okay, here's my best actress. Toni Collette, Hereditary. Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me? Regina Hall, Support the Girls. Eva Melander, Border.
A movie I haven't seen.
Joe and I
That's
saw it together.
The troll movie.
A movie
right?
that
Troll movie.
literally fucks.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yes. Yes.
I don't want to be fucked
Sex
by
scene
that.
of the year.
Real
We both
interesting
agree.
ways. Yeah,
Sex
yeah.
scene of the year.
Yeah.
And Joanna Kulig for Cold War.
All right.
Mm.
Mine are Toni Collette in Hereditary, Viola Davis in Widows, Melissa McCarthy in Can You Ever Forgive Me, Carey Mulligan in Wildlife, and my 5th slot is so the competition ultimately won by Charlize Theron in Tully.
Favorite of yours.
A joke.
Favorite of mine.
A real joke.
She's wonderful.
I like both her and Mackenzie.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Stone Cold.
Viola Davis in Widows.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Carey Mulligan in Wildlife.
Mhm.
Regina Hall in Support the Girls.
Mhm.
Sakura Ando in Shoplifters. And Helena Howard in Madeleine's Madeleine.
Wow.
Good spread.
And the Blankies chose Toni Collette in Hereditary, Olivia Colman in The Favorite, Elsie Fisher, 8th Grade, Lady Gaga, A Star Is Born, and Regina Hall, Support the Girl.
All performances I love.
Yeah.
But it's a tough list this year. As
No
it
one
usually
made all
is.
4.
Best actress for me was like 15 people that I
Yeah.
had to whittle down to the point where I wrote leaving off Natalie Portman in Annihilation, leaving off Catherine Hahn in Private Life, leaving off Regina Hall.
Han in Private Life was on that list.
Olivia Cook in
and off.
Thoroughbreds, Juliette Binoche and Let the Sun Shine In.
Still
Love
have to
that
see
one.
Let the Sunshine In.
Cook and Thoroughbreds, whatever.
I
Thoroughbreds
think that's
is
a great
not my
performance.
favorite.
Yeah, I don't love
I like that
Thoroughbreds.
movie.
Nah, that's what I say to that movie.
Let's talk. Well, we talked Sakura Ando. We didn't talk Alex Wolff. I know this is the wrong category now,
now that we're well
Got
beyond
to
it.
have the wolf fight.
but just because
Yeah.
we're talking about
Toni Collette.
category fraud
Yeah.
and Hereditary,
Sure,
and
yeah.
everything.
My thing with Alex Wolff is people keep pointing out to me, it's just like they end the movie on him. Like he's the main character
Right.
at the end of the movie, and it's like, yeah, but he's only that because Toni Collette has fully burned through her storyline.
Sure, but I also
She's-
think the
she
movie
so
ultimately
dominates that movie.
comes down to this sort of battle between the two of them.
It does a little bit. He's fantastic.
It's
It's
so
just
good.
just like Driver and Black Klansman. He's the vessel. He's not the lead.
Yeah.
He's the vessel.
I
They're
think
trying
so
to
much-
use him.
No puppet.
I think so much of that movie is her with
Fucking Ann Dowd, baby.
Ann Dowd. I was like, why can't I remember her name? Her with Ann Dowd, her trying to going through all of her stuff in the attic, her with her little dioramas.
Yeah.
And it becomes, he sort of emerges in that second half of the movie. I mean, he's also in that protracted scene at the party and whatever.
Right. And the scene in the car, which is his scene of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
After he stops the car and he won't look behind him.
Right.
Yes.
And he tries talking to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a
That's
good
a
movie.
scene.
Oh,
David,
yeah.
that's
I love
a scene.
Hereditary. I
That's
think it's
tough.
I think Hereditary gets caught up in that because there was that debate this year with The Quiet Place too about elevated horror, and people got really mad about that. And it's just can we just say that Hereditary, in addition to being the scariest fucking thing I've ever seen, is also just a well-made, well put together.
Right. I think people want to say elevated horror because they think saying that it's regular horror is an insult, which it isn't. It's a horror movie. It's also one of the best films of the year.
Right.
It's
Right.
both things. They're not mutually exclusive.
Right. I think horror has periodically allowed itself to sort of wade in the pool of its own schlock in a way that we love. Who doesn't love good schlocky horror? And I think that's maybe why people feel the need to differentiate.
Yes.
The problem is that Ari Aster keeps talking about how he wanted to make a Mike Leigh drama and he knew a horror movie. He's been a little honest about how it's he knew a genre movie would get attention and get bought, and good for him.
Yeah.
Because the movie's good.
Yes.
Toni Collette is so it's one of those things
And
where
he's
it's
made
just
another horror movie though, so I'm excited.
I read the script for that and it's really fucking good.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Is it long?
It's pretty long.
Is Florence Pugh the lead of that, or is she just
I
a
believe
character?
so, right? It's her and Jack Rayner, I think, are the two leads. Is that
She was
right?
the only one she's
Love
the only one I
Pugh.
remember.
Rayner
Yeah.
can be good.
I've
I'm
seen
sort of
Rayner-
take
yeah.
or leave it on him.
My favorite Rayner
was
is a movie
really
nobody
trying
saw.
to get cast in that thing. To no success, but I was after Hereditary, I was I'll fucking do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But Colette is the opposite of me criticizing something for being too big.
Yeah, right. That's
she can go as big as she wants in
Yeah.
that movie.
It's
I
kind
love
of
her.
stunning. I mean, that's just it's the most acting of the year, but it's also impressive because there's not a single false moment. There's no overreach. Everything's grounded. Everything's connected. And the breadth of what they're asking her to do is insane.
Well, and if she doesn't go to that length, the shit that happens in that movie wouldn't make sense. Like she's only reacting in proportion to what the fuck is going on.
And just talk about smart acting choices. The scene with Ann Dowd where they're doing this sort of seance-y Ouija board thing for the first time, and she starts seeing supernatural things that she full-on can't deny for the first time.
Yeah.
Most actors would scream.
Right.
Or start like trembling.
Right.
And her two things are she starts crying.
Yeah.
Because she can't process it. And then she starts laughing out of embarrassment at the fact she's crying.
Yeah.
Like everything she does in that movie is avoiding the most obvious decision,
right,
but doing the more complicated thing and then landing it perfectly. That's my win.
That she's not afraid to let the audience sort of laugh at her too. In that scene where like she's yelling at Alex Wolff, but I'm your mother, and
that dinner table scene. I mean, every scene in that movie
it rides the edge of insanity in such a good way.
I don't like the dinner table scene.
Yeah,
really?
It's actually one of my problems.
I love it.
Yeah, too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
And at a certain, I'm like, we don't need this. I get it already. And also, my problem with Hereditary, which has sort of gone away as I rewatched it, was her fucking head falls off.
Sure does.
And then he drives in and it's like, if that happened, no one would ever speak again. Everyone would just shoot themselves in the head and be dead. Like, it's too crazy. Her head fell off. See, it's like on the road.
That's what I appreciate. The audacity of the movie is just like you're saying they'd never talk to each other again, and this movie's going like we have to actually try to figure out what this conversation would sound like.
Right.
How insane would this conversation be?
On rewatch 2, now prepared that her head was going to fall off. I was like a little more accepting, and then on rewatch 3, I was like, man, this movie's great.
Also, just what a fucking beautiful thing. I mean, we're just going full spoiler territory here, but that marketing campaign for that movie is just like, this kid is weird.
Yeah.
And you're watching the first half of the movie, you're like, what's the thing with the weird kid?
Oh,
and then the weird kid dies in the most
ways.
insane way possible. And you're like, I don't know what this movie is now.
I agree.
Watching it the second time and realizing that she gets it's not that she ate cake with nuts in it, but she ate cake slice, like cut. With the knife that was chopping the walnuts. For whatever reason, that I was just like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your winner's Colette. Who's your winner?
Colette.
Regina Hall.
Regina Hall's great.
And the Blankies.
I really, really wish I could have put her on my list too.
That movie doesn't work. She's not a real person.
I agree.
Don't know how else to put it. Anyway, but yeah, who are the Blankies?
Blankies chose Olivia Colman, which is category fraud.
She's great. It's not fraud to me because it's sort of like, she's the queen.
Yeah, she's the queen.
She's the fucking queen of England.
Yeah.
Of all of England.
Regina Hall has been so good for so long.
Yes.
And I feel like you go, Regina Hall and Anna Faris both come out of Scary Movie, right?
Yeah.
And it took, I feel like, 14 years for people to finally be like, I guess we got to give Anna Faris a lot of credit.
Right.
Where they kept on going like, oh, she's like the person who's kind of funny in those dumb movies.
Right.
It took like 14 years for people to come around and be like, she actually is really good.
Right.
And at that point, she had already transitioned to TV, and now she's stuck on Mom.
Yeah.
Which is a okay show. But I miss her being in films.
Like it.
I miss her being in films.
Nah, me too.
Regina Hall took even longer.
Yeah.
And I feel like now everyone's going like, Regina Hall, who knew this actress was there? Rewatch all the dumb comedies she was in. She has always been phenomenal.
She's always really phenomenal.
She has always been the best part of every single movie she has ever been in.
The amazing thing about the Regina Hall thing is it came out of seemingly Girls Trip.
Yeah.
But like Support the Girls must have already been, if not finished, on the way.
So it's Wachowski is smart, and he knew
everything was
what
really
it took
set
everyone
up.
else longer to figure out.
Yeah. It's like it's such a moment for her now where it's like, I'm so excited for Reverse Big.
And now she's doing prestige TV. She's in more movies. She's above the tell. You can't handle this much Shaft. Is that what the tagline is? Right? Yeah, whatever. Who knows? I don't know. Regina Hall rules.
Yeah.
No complaints there.
Carey Mulligan's a good pick, David.
She's incredible. That
she's
movie is flawed in my opinion.
Still haven't seen that movie.
But I love her as an actress, and she is magnetic.
The journey she goes on, because in the beginning you get the sense of like, oh, long suffering wife kind of a thing,
right?
And then the turn that character takes, is,
where it's like, no, this movie is about her going wild,
and it's that this was sort of there with her all along,
right?
And you underestimated her because you were paying attention to Gyllenhaal having a breakdown.
Yeah, Jilly.
True or false, Melissa McCarthy should win the Oscar as 100%. This category is
and
currently.
I think 5 years from now, no one will believe that we didn't give it to her. Of those nominees,
I don't.
Would you give it to Gaga
agree
instead?
with that kind of hyperbole? But I mean, she's great.
I think 5 years from now, everyone's going to go, that's so bizarre we didn't give her the Oscar that we all kind of slept on that performance.
I mean, we didn't sleep
think
on it. She's getting nominated.
Yeah,
But it's like a
she
quiet
got
nomination. Like, I feel like
It
no
is
one's giving
it's
it
too
enough
quiet of a
credit,
nomination.
considering that she's getting nominated.
It's
for
a quiet ass movie, man. It's quiet.
love
People
it.
now because
So
like lots
good.
of people are going to be like, why didn't Coleman win? Because Coleman is about to go on a run.
Yeah.
And she's going to be on her TV. She's going to be in movie. Like, and people are going to be like, what the fuck happened there? You know, like that movie got 10 nominations. Is going to win 0, maybe 1. Like,
I think it's 1 at most.
Yeah.
But it's probably 0.
so is enough people will be standing for her. Enough people will stand for Lady Gaga, especially depending on what happens there. Obviously, no one's going to be like, well, everyone, the wife was just, sitting there. You had to go for the wife. What if there was a wife?
Which, of course,
What if there was a wife?
Let's just say the wife is winning 1 award this year at the Blankies. It's Best Supporting Walnuts. And that's the
I just
only
mentioned
award
the
that
Walnuts
movie
in
deserves.
Hereditary.
Say what you texted me after you saw The Wife.
The wife is Tyler Perry for white people. It's Tyler Perry for white pseudo-intellectuals.
I swear to God, that's
It
what it
looks the same. It's got the same sort of like clapback moments where they want the
Yeah.
audience to cheer. That like she's not putting up with it anymore.
Can I
is.
equally-
The ending is so trite.
I was just
Like,
going to say,
And here's
I
the other
could
thing: Tyler
spoil
Perry
the
movies
ending of
are
The Wife,
fun
right?
because
Yeah.
they go ham.
The fact
They
that
do go ham.
The fact that he fucking dies at the end of that movie is so
and has like a perfect
stupid.
piss off line as he dies.
Stupid.
Fuck that
So
movie.
stupid.
That, and then, I mean, I complained about this on, I can't remember, but
I can't imagine you've talked about the
the
wife a whole
framing
lot.
device of the wife is that she has the same flight attendant on both flights.
Get out of
and
here.
the last scene of the movie basically is the flight attendant being like, hi, I was your flight attendant on the way over, and I just wanted to say I heard about what happened during the film The Wife, and I just feel really bad for you. And Glenn Close is like, thank you. And I'm like, the flight attendant? She's been
She's the
paying
through line?
attention to like Nobel Prize machinations?
His
boy.
blender in that movie is that he writes love notes on walnuts, except it's not a blender because it turns out to be
Right.
a plot. What?
He's mad.
I saw it by myself at 11 o'clock
Where?
like a week ago at the landmark on the West Side Highway because I was like, I gotta just see this fucking
And then you
thing.
walked into the
Yeah.
Hudson.
Right, I was like, I've been putting this off for
Right.
9 months. I gotta see it before she wins the fucking Oscar.
Oh,
I
all
was
this
irate.
said, all of this is true.
It does have the best supporting
I'm
walnut.
still fine with her winning the Oscar just because she's Glenn Close and she should have an Oscar by now.
I can't wait to see her speech, Glenn Close rules.
She should have had her Oscar win
Oh boy.
for
What?
Albert Nobbs.
What? Knobs?
I want to be Albert Nobbs for
Weirdly,
Halloween so
nobody
badly,
should
and I
have
keep
won
on
that year.
feeling like it's a little touchy.
2011.
It's also not in the frontal
Well, that's
lobes
why I
for a
want
lot
to
of
do it
people.
now. I've been waiting for it to dissipate.
Knobs.
2011 Best Actress. Listen to this lineup. You don't want any of these women winning that year for that movie anyway. It's Streep and Iron Lady. Nobody likes that she won for that.
Horrible
Viola
movie.
Davis for the help.
It's Viola Davis for the help. We're all happier that she won for
Probably
Fences.
should have won though.
Michelle Williams for My Week with Marilyn. Nobody would have been happy if
the
that's
worst.
her.
The worst.
Glenn Close and Knobs.
My week with the River of Ham, more like
It's Rooney Mara in Dragon Tattoo is the only one of those that
best
you're like,
performance of
Yeah,
those five.
I honestly,
I would be happy with
give
her
it to
winning an
Knobs.
Oscar.
I think Knobs is a nightmare movie. I think that's an
It's a
incredible
nightmare
performance. I wasn't joking. I think Knobs is a great performance.
I think Glenn Close rules. I think she's good in The Wife, like as much
She
as
is,
she
of
can
course.
be.
right,
She's a
as much
good
as she can
actor.
be.
And like
Yeah.
as is Jonathan Pryce, even though it's a dog shit role.
And so
Slater
scraggly.
is lost. in that
Slater does
movie.
not know what he's doing.
Did anyone talk to him? Like
And Max Irons is a
He fully
weird
like wandered
performance.
onto set. Yeah,
The
Max-
young version of
thumbs
Jonathan
down.
Pryce is a weird
Remember
performance.
when
I'll
Max
let David
Irons
say
was
thumbs
like
down.
a young hottie? Like it's such a
That's the poutiest performance I have ever seen.
it's the powders
yeah.
the Powders and Frowners Award.
Powders
goes
and
to-
Frowners
Alright.
Award goes to Max Irons.
Yeah.
let's do our screenplays
Why don't
quickly.
you like my short
According-
story?
According to this, we did screenplays last year and actually never said
Alright.
our winners.
Oh wow, fun.
Great, cool.
Good for
We're
us.
good at this podcast.
for
We've
us.
been doing it for 5 years.
Yep. Adapted first.
Yeah, and let's do these faster.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously.
Gotcha.
Okay, you
we're
guys
doing
go
fine.
first
We're doing
because I
fine.
forgot to write this list down, so I'm going to have
Alright.
to put it together now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mine are Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Mhm.
If Beale Street Could Talk.
Sure.
The Death of Stalin.
Oh, yeah.
We the Animals. And
Mhm.
Border.
I gotta see Border.
You do.
They never gave me a screener. Give me that screener.
Saw it in a theater like a civilized person.
What the fuck are you talking about? A
The
theater?
day that Penny Marshall died, that's what I will remember is seeing Border with Griffin the day that Penny Marshall
We
died.
grieved.
We did.
The Death of Stalin.
Love
Yeah,
the Death
I
of
thought it was
Stalin.
very
Fantastic.
funny.
It's so funny.
Mine are Widows, Leave No Trace, If Beale Street Could Talk, Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Black Panther.
It's a solid list.
Death of Stalin should be in there too, though. I don't know.
Death of Stalin's one of those things that's just like, it's such a well acted movie that you're tempted to just be like, ensemble. It's the ensemble that does it. But like,
it's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
I was rewatching on HBO the other day. Still great. My favorite thing of the year was the Coens getting nominated for the Oscars, and I was like, that was adapted?
Yeah. Yes.
That should be in there too, maybe. I don't fucking know. That movie rules.
What's your favorite bit in Death of Stalin?
My favorite bit in Death of Stalin, clattering fannies. Rupert Friend is so good.
Rupert Friend is so good. Thank you for saying.
With the
also, when he
team.
tries to spit when he's being pinned to the ground,
and it goes into his face,
and it lands into his hair.
Oh my god, that's so good. I really actually love the scene, which is so freaking dark, where they're like, no, your wife was a traitor and she was bad.
When
and then
Palin's going on and on.
And the evidence was flimsy, and here she is. Yes. I think that's so fucking funny.
Palin's my favorite performance in that
Palin
movie.
is so... That scene
I
where he's
just
like...
love Palin so
He rules.
much.
But that scene where he kind of talks himself to himself, well, Stalin didn't like doing this.
I know. Yeah.
But he also was a rebel. Like, you know, he's sort of like, you know...
Also, the scene after Jason Isaacs shows up and like punches Rupert Friend in the gut, and then Andrea Riseborough just comes out of the back and looks at Buscemi and goes, harm, right there. It's so good.
Do you
know
have
what? I'll say,
screenplays?
but now you guys are making me realize I'm taking one out and putting Stalin in. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Adapted screenplay. If Beale Street Could Talk, Can You Ever Forgive Me? Black Panther, Border, and You Were Never Really Here. I forgot that Stalin was adapted, not original, so I take back the thing I just said before reading that category. Those are my 5. Beale, Forgive, Black Panther, Border, You Were Never Really Here.
Okay. All right.
Are my adapted.
My winner's Leave No Trace. That's a beautifully written movie.
My winner is Black Panther.
My winner is Can You Ever Forgive Me?
I think Black Panther is just like a marvel
Incredible
of screenwriting.
Incredible.
No pun intended.
Very underrated. That it didn't get nomination drove me crazy.
I just think the way he approached, we talked about this in another episode that we recorded yesterday, but the way he approached Killmonger in that movie is the smartest screenwriting conceit I have ever seen in a superhero film.
For all the nominations that movie got, the ones that it missed are mystifying. That
screenplay and supporting actor.
Well, you can't not nominate Coogler when you nominate it. If it's one of your best pictures, and it gets the number of nominations.
Right.
Coogler, Jordan, visual effects. That it didn't get the short list for visual effects
is a nightmare
crazy.
this year. Yeah. The short list was so stupid.
Yeah.
That Aquaman didn't make the short list is one of the most shocking stunts in the history.
I didn't realize that literally all the hair in that movie is CGI.
And that movie did like 4 things that no movie has done. Visually. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Best Brian King. All right, original screenplay. Go.
King. Original screenplay, I have 8th Grade, Sorry to Bother You, Tully, Private Life, and Support the Girls.
David.
Shoplifters.
Yes.
Voice Reformed.
Yes.
Support the Girls. The Rider. The Favorite.
Okay.
You're really that's spoiled for choice in this category. Like there's so many.
I have First Reformed, Sorry to Bother You, Hereditary, Support the Girls, and Shoplifter.
Very nice. My winner is First Reformed.
My winner is Sorry to Bother You.
My winner is 8th Grade.
Here's what I like about Sorry to Bother You.
Did you not like Sorry to Bother You?
No.
Really?
Oh,
really? Disagree.
I think it's ambitious and it's interesting, and I think Lakeith is good, and I like a lot of what's going on in it.
Yes.
But at the end, I'm just like, stop hitting me. I get it.
I like being hit. Maybe I'm a masochist.
God, stop fucking hitting me.
I like being hit.
I'm being hit sometimes,
joke, but I actually hate being hit.
You
all
like curl
contexts.
into a ball.
Yeah. I fall faster than Bruce Willis when hit.
Yeah.
I think it's a great screenplay. I love the ambition of it. I just like people just going for it.
I love the ambition.
And I think his points remain so tight and concise. His eye is on the ball the entire time.
That movie ain't tight.
I think Boots Riley also is looking at this and being like, somebody's going to make this point subtly. I'm going to make this point as loudly and obnoxiously.
I like the movie being loud and angry.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It's just like, if you're going to have this crazy third act twist as well, like, does the whatever. I don't like the twist in the movie. The twist is my problem with that movie.
I love the twist, and I think
do love
the twist is perfectly baked.
I know I'm a stick in the mud for not liking the twist or not liking that movie.
I don't.
I think the Tessa Thompson character is horribly written.
I would agree with that.
Horribly written.
Maybe I wouldn't say that many horribly, but yes.
insane, and no one talked about it.
I'll say this. I think you could throw the exact same criticism with the Amanda Seyfried character in First Reformed.
Or
that character.
I think both those characters are really underrated.
Look, Paul Schrader.
Yeah. Also, Black Klansman does the same thing. It's female character.
I enjoy Paul Schrader, but I've also seen his Facebook. Look, there's lots going on with him.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Guy's messy.
How did we make it through an entire award season with Schrader getting
A24 literally pointed a gun at him, I believe. Literally, just get off fucking Facebook for 6 months, please. Yeah.
You mean Paul Schrader, the David Ehrlich of Hollywood?
Oh boy!
What, you waving a thing in my face? I don't know what you're saying. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
Get the door. Who could it be?
It's me, Checky.
Oh Jesus, Checky!
Remember, I was supposed to be a big part of this podcast. We hyped me up a lot several months ago.
Which I don't even remember the episode, but yeah, I remember you.
Who knows? People liked it.
What happened to Bruce? Have you seen him?
Stepped over his
Bruce,
corpse.
what do you
walking
mean?
in
What are you talking about?
Bruce Willis. He was here earlier.
Bruce Willis was here in the studio,
Yeah,
America's
famous
biggest
actor.
movie star?
We paid a high price.
Oh, David, no, he's dead on the ground in the puddle.
Oh my, that's Bruce Willis?
Yeah, that's him.
Aha, I was kidding. I'm still alive. It's me, Bruce Willis. I'm taking over this ad read. Checky, get the fuck out of here. Gladly. I love Bruce Willis. Up, and away. Oh, Checky, what a funny choice of words, because our sponsor today is Away.
He scripts this stuff, guys. I don't know what to tell you. This is definitely not off the dome.
Away
You can tell.
luggage, bold, underlined, our mission. We are a team of thinkers, comma, seekers, comma, and designers, period.
Bruce, you're fired. That's it.
I'm doing
Get
this
outta
one
here.
pro bono. I
No.
didn't even ask for money.
You're out. You can get a suitcase, but you're out of here. You cannot read punctuation. I'm sorry.
You're telling Bruce
This
Willis he
episode is
can't
too
read?
long. Yes.
You're
I'm going
telling
to give
Bruce
you a line
Willis he
reading
can't
right
read.
now.
Okay, try.
We were founded by two friends from New York who found themselves at JFK with dead phones, delayed flights, and a bright idea: luggage with power.
Two friends, that sounds like a competitive advantage.
That's a good point. Thus, the Away Carry-On was born.
Wait, are you saying that this is inspired by true travel stories, that they asked thousands of people how they pack, comma, why they travel, comma, and what bugs them most about their luggage, period?
You forgot to read the colon there.
I don't like colons.
Well, yeah. Look, I've taken 6 planes in the last month, which is an incredible amount of planes for me to take. I hate flying.
And
It
I'm
brings
sitting
me
on a
so
bit
much
that I wish
freedom.
I could unretire right now. Go on.
I took my away bag with me to Utah. I took it with me to London.
Because you claimed the bag. They only sent us one bag and you claimed it.
I did claim it.
And you've had a great time with that.
I took it to London. I took it to Utah. Where else did I go? Oh, San Francisco. Right?
What color is your bag? Brick red?
Blue. It's a blue one. It's a bluey.
Sounds so nice.
It's a great bag. It's got compartments. It's got a power source, which I have used. In London, I arrived. I forgot to bring a power converter, so my away bag charged everything.
Well, that
It
makes
was
sense. I mean,
incredible.
you wouldn't know that the power is different in London, so of course
I
you
was
couldn't pack
truly
accordingly.
embarrassed that I'd forgotten, actually.
Forgotten? What do you mean? You never know.
I grew up in England.
What? Listen, here's the thing I want to say.
It's a carry-on. Obviously, you can bring it with you. You can fit so much in this.
This is the thing I
then it
genuinely
locks
want
up.
to say.
Oh, yeah, it's got the compression system.
I have
It's
a
so good.
genuine
That's
point
great.
Really, really good.
I want to make.
Go ahead.
Away has sponsored this show before, but not in a while. Okay? And the last time they did, bunch of blankies pushed their glasses up the bridge of their nose and went, well, actually, it's not that much of a selling point to have a power source inside the suitcase because
It's
you can't get
huge.
through security. Guess what? Away isn't stupid. It's removable.
Yeah, no, but you can take it through security.
That's the point, because it's removable.
Yeah,
they changed the guidelines so that you're not allowed to bring a bag on unless it's removable, and Away knew that, and they were ahead of the curve, and they did it. So
I've
eat a
taken that
turd.
bag through
Away.
every kind of security.
Yes.
Yes, it rules.
You can't touch Away.
All you need is a
They're
USB
unbreakable.
cord.
Did
It'll
someone say
charge.
unbreakable?
It's a 100-day free trial. You can vibe with it. You can travel with it. You can Instagram it. And if you don't like it, return it. Full refund.
That
No
sounds
questions
great.
asked.
Just like me and my ad reads. If
Hey.
you don't like the ad reads, I give you a full refund.
Bruce, read the special offer.
Okay, here's a special offer to listeners of your show for $20 highlighted in yellow off a suitcase. Visit awaytravel.com/check and use underlined bold promo code check during checkout. I should make it clear, actually, the promo code is not underlined in bold. You just have to type in the word check.
Just read the damn words.
Okay, repeat the offer and call to action. I'll start up again from the
$20
top.
off a suitcase. Visit awaytravel.com/check and use promo code check during checkout.
Bruce, you did such a bad job in this ad read. I think you should give us one of the briefcases back.
Fine, I'll give you one because I'm a man of my word.
Thank you, Bruce.
Now, next time, if you want a discount on your Bruce Willis ad read for $20 off your $1 million Bruce Willis ad read, use promo code CHECK.
Oh, weird. My hand is taking your face and putting it into the puddle. Oh, my God.
Incredible
weird.
that this works.
How did that happen?
For the third and final time, we have lost Bruce Willis.
Rip. Okay, so
this episode's going great. Best director.
You don't want to do best score?
I
think we should do director picture and then fill in some of the other categories.
That's fine.
Let's do that.
Right? Okay, best director. I got Lynn Ramsey, Ari Aster, Christopher McQuarrie, Paul King, Barry Jenkins.
It's a good list.
Good list.
That's
Paul
my
King.
five. Paul King, Paddington 2, The Deuce.
I have Alex Garland for Annihilation.
Hell yeah.
Barry Jenkins for If Beale Street Could Talk. Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favorite. Steve McQueen for Widows. And David's friend Boots Riley for Sorry to Bother You.
Hells, yeah, low 5.
Sorry, I don't like that movie. I feel bad. Everyone likes it.
You don't like wearing boots?
I don't think everybody likes it. I feel like it was. I think
You don't like to put on a pair of boots?
I love a pair of boots.
You don't like getting riled up?
Well put. My 5 are. Wait, what were you going to say, Joe? Not everyone likes it.
Not everyone likes it.
You're right. Steve McQueen for Widows.
Mm.
Hirokazu Koreeda for Shoplifters.
Mhm.
Nice. Paul Schrader for First Reform.
Mhm.
Brad Lemius P. Cooper for A Star is Born. Actually, don't know what his middle name is.
Of course, he
and
was a CIT in theater.
Deborah Granick for Leave No Trace.
Okay.
it's a good lineup.
And our winners.
Charles is his middle name.
Oh, and the Blankies for Best Director chose to nominate Alfonso Cuarón for Roma.
A movie none of us are talking
I know.
about.
I know it's wild. Isn't
I think all of us like it.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it's a very good
I think
film.
it's good. I struggled with it in the way I struggle with a lot of Cuarón movies where it's like,
I did.
I
but
struggle to make the total leap emotionally with him because he's so spectacle
See, I
oriented.
usually go in on him emotionally, and this was the first time where I'm like, I can't deny this thing, but I also don't love it.
It took me a second time. I got there the second time. I have to say, second time I watched it.
I got nothing bad to say about that
I saw
movie.
it
Yeah.
really near Bradley Cooper at Toronto, and
Yeah?
he was like
I saw
doing
it
that. He was like doing
really near-
Lenny
So
at
you-
the Oscars.
You saw it in BCX?
I saw it really near Barry Jenkins. What best director
Right,
nominee
Jenkins
did you
was in
see?
there.
You saw it
Really
in
near-
BJX? I saw it very near my girlfriend,
There we go.
who was snubbed this year.
Rude.
Sorry. Well, she should make a feature.
She did. She directed the Green Book. That's the worst thing I've ever said about a person I
She
love.
should leave you.
Yeah, she should. She's going to sue me for slander. Not only will she leave me, but she will sue me. Blanky's nominated Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, Barry Jenkins, A Beale Street Could Talk, Yorgos Lanthimos, The Favorite, Steve McQueen, Widows, Schrader, First Reformed.
My winner is Steve McQueen.
My winner is Lynn Ramsey.
My winner is Steve McQueen.
And the Blankies chose Alfonso Cuarón.
As will the Academy.
Yeah.
But if Spike Lee wins that in a surprise, that'll be fun.
It'd be wonderful. And I
yeah.
also will not be unhappy if Alfonso Cuarón wins. I'm very happy that neither Bryan Singer nor Peter Farrelly got nominated.
Yeah.
Everyone in that category
favors.
is. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Vice, but the other 4
Nick Cage
nominees in
should
that
not be in that
category
category,
are
but
stellar. That's the point.
Yes.
I mean, I was not expecting Yorgos
No, I
and
thought-
Pavel to get in.
I thought Yorgos was going to get snubbed. I'm cooler on Cold War, not to be fancy with it.
well,
but,
I'm ice cool on Cold War.
I
and
didn't
that it makes me
love Cold War, and it puzzled.
Griffin looked at me for approval, and I approve, honestly.
I'm losing my mind.
Oh boy.
Alrighty.
I think Cold War rules, but that's a prickly film.
I like the
But
first
it's-
25 minutes of Cold War, and then it steadily loses.
I agree, and then I also like the remaining 65 minutes.
It's short. It's a short
Yeah, the
one.
whole movie fucks.
All right, best picture. Come on, guys.
Okay,
Oh boy.
Because to me, director is just a pregame for best picture.
Yes, it is.
sure.
All right, my number 10. Oh, I want to do a tie, but I don't want. I want to be pure. Private Life. 9. Roma. 8. 8th Grade. 7. A Star Is Born. 6. Can You Ever Forgive Me? 5. Hereditary. 4. If Beale Street Could Talk. 3. The Favorite. 2. Annihilation. 1. Widows.
My 10 are Burning, number 10. Beale Street, number 9. Mission Impossible Fallout, number 8. The Rider, number 7. Support the Girls, number 6. Leave No Trace, number 5. Star Is Born, number 4. First Reform, number 3. Shoplifters, number 2. Widows, number 1. I was the only critic at the Village Voice poll who put Widows number 1, and yet two of us,
If they
two of
would've
us,
asked me,
Yeah.
I would have happily done it. It fucks doesn't even begin to cover how great Widows is.
It's a movie I like a lot. I have no explanation for why it didn't make my 10.
It's okay. Go ahead.
But here's my 10. I formatted this poorly, so excuse me if there are any hiccups in reading this. Number 10, Sorry to Bother You. Number 9, The Bleed of Buster Scruggs.
Great movie.
Number 8, Support the Girls. Number 7, Can You Ever Forgive Me? Number 6, Mission Impossible Fallout. Number 5, Cold War. Number 4, If Beale Street Could Talk. Number 3, P2 The Deuce. Number 2, Hereditary. Number 1, You Were Never Really Here.
P2 The Deuce?
That's what Jamesy calls.
Fair enough.
P2 The Deuce.
Not number 13. Hovering right outside for me were Black Panther, Scruggs, Paddington, First Man, Incredibles 2. Those were like hovering for me.
It hurt me to leave Spider-Verse off at 10. I thought,
loved that Spider-Verse.
Loved it.
Now here's the thing
you know what else is hovering for me in many categories?
What?
Sorry, I'm just starting my engine. The Mule.
Oh no!
What a movie. I can't wait to buy that in fucking 4K and watch it 6 times a day. Bradley Cooper. He's literally on my long list.
Me trying to figure out how much you actually like The Mule has been like a months long process.
It was one of those things where I went in being like, for me, Griffin's still laughing. For me, the basement on this is I'll like it like as this sort of silly thing.
Yeah.
And the ceiling is like, I'll fucking love it. And it was close to the ceiling.
Wow.
David, that is the funniest thing you've ever done.
Well, thank you.
Oh, boy.
The Mule rolls.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
He has how many threesomes?
2 threesomes.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So if you multiply, he has 6 sexes.
Wow.
6 sex.
The 6 sexes.
He's 70.
70?
Yeah. Keep going.
He's 88, I think, right? I believe he's 88
In the
years
movie,
old.
is he playing a 90-year-old?
He's playing a little older.
Now,
He's 88.
He's 88.
Write this film?
No.
Clint Eastwood doesn't write movies.
No.
It was written by the guy who wrote
Clint
Gran
Eastwood, the
Torino.
original Crazy
And the
88.
judge.
Yeah.
Yes. No, another thing, Clint Eastwood finally comes up with the right metaphor for how he views his filmmaking career, which is a garden. Just let me plant another flower, wear another bow tie.
Sounds like the mule fucks.
I went into the Mule. The one thing I did not know was the florist thing, like that he's like the hottest botanist in Northern Illinois or whatever.
The ladies love him.
And that scene where he's like, "How you doing, you old motherfucker?" And the guy's like, "Oh, you, oh, muley pants, like here you are." He's like, "I got the best fucking orchids you ever saw."
Yeah. I also call that movie Clint v. Technology, Dawn of Muling. Because it's so much good him complaining about.
That scene where he just goes, "Internet."
What's the line he says where he goes, that's the problem with your generation. Don't know how to change no, what is it? You don't know how to fix a bread box without pulling up the internet? What does he say?
I can't remember if it's Breadbox. It's something.
He says a thing. I believe he says, you
What
don't know
could
how
go
to...
wrong with someone's bread box
I
that
think
would
he
require
says,
fixing?
you don't know how to fix a bread box without calling up the internet.
Calling up the internet is definitely part of it.
Yes.
But that's still a movie where his daughter plays his daughter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Diane Weiss is playing
Poor Diane
his
Weiss.
ex-wife. It's great in the movie.
The final scene is him just going, I've been a shitty guy.
The final scene is him saying, guilty.
Literally.
Literally. They're like, you've been a shithead. And he's like, guilty.
Cut to Clint singing Grand
Who does
Torino.
Bradley Charles Cooper play in this movie?
He plays the cop who's after him, and there's literally a scene. But what he is playing is the young
the
director.
Casey Affleck to his Robert Redford.
Yes, but he's playing the young director who Eastwood is mentoring, and there's a scene where they have a Waffle House breakfast,
Oh,
and Eastwood's like, you got to remember anniversaries, and your kids, you should be nice to them. Listen, I know what I'm talking about. And Cooper's like, all right. And it's literally just like, it just sounds like a fucking conversation they had, like on the set of American Sniper.
okay. I found the line, and this is even better. The line verbatim is, your generation doesn't know how to open a fruit box without calling the internet. I knew it was something weird. You don't know how to open a fruit box
To be fair,
without calling the internet.
were I presented with a fruit box,
Yep.
I would have to consult something.
I would speed dial the internet and go, please help me.
We haven't even hit 2 hours. We're doing great.
I've been called a fruit box in my time, and you know what? It's not enjoyable.
And much
I
like the
took
best,
it as an insult.
much but like the best fruit boxes, you open up and share your
I
beauties
do.
with all of
Everybody.
us. Yes.
All right. So best number one for you, your best picture of the year is
You're Never Really Here. Now here's what I want.
Which is you loved from the minute you saw it.
I just said masterpiece. 10 out of 10. I love it. I think Lynn Ramsey is one of the best living filmmakers.
Morvan Caller, to me, is still just, a perfect movie.
It's an incredibly tough film, and I saw it twice in theaters.
Sure.
Because I just couldn't get enough of how good the thing is. And I also think it's weirdly hopeful. Now, P2, which...
That's wild.
Right. P2, the critics' film of the year, right? The best reviewed movie in history.
Sure. Right.
You and I have talked about the fact that we were both confused.
Right, as to why it was getting so much more hyperbole than P1.
Right. And I think the answer is we need it more now.
I think it's that. I think
people came around to
having
want it.
rewatched both a ton, it's a little more visually bold.
It's got a couple stunner sequences.
Yes, and the villain is a little better.
Knuckles McGinty? Yes, I agree.
I also feel like there was a contingent of people feeling sad that they got left out of the original Paddington wave that really,
I think there's
really wanted to be on board for this one.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say, so I think P1 is a little better than P2, but they're very close. I think Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is better than Fallout, and yet both of those movies made my 10 and made my director list.
Disgusted
Go to Call is better than both of those.
Go to Call is better than both, but Fallout
Rogue Nation is the best one.
I'm so excited for Mission Impossible. Tom turns himself into a pretzel and is shot into another dimension, or whatever it's going to be called.
I've been watching old Oscar ceremonies. I was telling David before we started. The 2001 Oscars, the Moulin Rouge year, whatever, took place in 2002. The Barbara Walters special that precedes the Oscar that year, because that's the recording I have has that included.
TC.
Tom Cruise, this is post Nicole, Divorce with Nicole, where Nicole is the nominee. Tom is not the story. Barbara decides to interview Tom.
Right.
Inside an airplane hangar where planes are taking off and Barbara Walters keeps going you chose this place. I don't understand. And he's like, I love it. But he also has the adult braces on. So this was this was very post-divorce crisis Tom Cruise.
Yes.
It was quite something.
This was the point I was going to make. I'm two films that are sequels to films that I liked more are charting higher than those, right? They're predecessors. And the answer is,
year by year.
I feel like, I was a coward back then. I was a younger man. I didn't have the courage to argue for the value of great populist cinema.
Sure.
Right? And put it up there with
what
the
will you say when Aquaman 2 becomes that in a few years?
I
look back on this year.
There's a spin-off sent in the fucking Crab Kingdom or whatever.
Do you know about this, Ben? What? Do you know they're making a Aquaman spinoff called The Trench that is a horror movie just set in the trench with the trench monsters?
I saw that. That's going to fucking rule. Yeah. I've never heard of a wet horror movie before.
Wet, deep.
Yeah.
Dark.
There's a good...
and crab people?
Someone make a wet horror movie list for him. Dark Water. That's a wet horror movie. There's some wet ones.
Wet horror movie set on Roosevelt Island. Dark Water.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where my friends just moved, and I've mentioned that movie to them every time I've talked to them.
It feels like a cool place to move to.
Roosevelt Island? Yeah. They just had a baby, so they literally went there to step out of the world. They were like, we're going to raise our baby and come back later.
I was just going to say, I gravitated towards movies that made me feel a little better about humanity this year. But the tough movies I liked were the ones that still gave me some fucking kernel of hope. And I feel like Beale Street and You Were Never Really Here are both movies about people trying to maintain their integrity in horrific circumstances. You Never Really Here is a man who inserts himself into the worst circumstances imaginable.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out why. And Beale Street is people trying not to collapse under the systemic pressure of racism.
Well, even our number one, Widows, ends on not a note of triumph for the heist, but it's literally Viola Davis and Elizabeth Debicki being we can be friends now.
That's
the
what
triumph
I want.
is
so great. I want
hi.
movies where people do nice things to each other.
It's so great.
If she didn't say
Even
hi,
if they
the
have to
movie
go
would
through
not
a lot of murk to get there. I want movies where at the end people go fucking let's just reach out and talk to each other and try to do kind things for each other and shoot Bob Duvall.
Who are your putters and murmurs this year?
Who are my putters and murmurs?
Wait, speaking of Bob Duvall.
Yeah.
Okay. My page.
Joe just dramatically flipped pages over.
I did. It was not as loud as I thought it was going to be.
It was a great movement, though.
Thank you. So we did talk about Coop several months ago.
Yeah.
He's still the top of my list. Yeah. But I'm surprised you did not consider Eva Melander and Ira Milanoff.
I certainly
for
consider
Borders.
him.
That is a tandem putter and murmur.
Now, here's what I would say. I think that's more of a sniffles and grovels.
Because
that's a lot of
It is a lot of sniffling and groveling.
Kind of, whereas B Coop's a lot more like,
all right. Next up,
just want to take another look.
Jennifer Jason Leigh in Annihilation.
Oh, that's an interesting way to.
There's a lot of murmurs.
I think that's a good call.
There's a lot of murmurs out of her,
especially at the end where she has this very crucial monologue.
She goes Annihilation.
It's Annihilation.
It's Annihilation.
I'm going to turn into a fucking Mendel bulb now.
Okay.
Did Annihilation make your list, David? I know you and I saw that one together.
I love that movie, but it's a top 20 for me.
Yeah.
Top 20 for me, but I love that movie.
Jeffrey Wright in Hold the Dark. Not a movie that I loved.
Have not seen.
That's a huge Putters and Murmurs.
That's a very Putters and Murmurs performance.
The most baffling movie.
It's the most baffling movie.
Actually, that movie with like 50 questions.
That movie is literally. I said on Twitter, I was just like, "Hold the Dark, 2018." Dear nonsense. It was just like question mark. It has this insane shootout spectacle in the middle of it that really has no connection to anything else that happens in it.
Staged, and then they cut
hugely
to
well staged.
James Badge Dale and Jeffrey Wright in his house, like drinking wine, being like, "What a day!" And I'm like, "What do you mean, what a day? The most police in American history were just murdered. Like, the president would be here
in spectacularly violent ways.
Yes, with a fucking with
a giant cannon gun.
Right? Yeah." Insane.
I mean, I think there's another performance that none of us like in a movie that none of us like, where if you're going to give it any credit, you have to give it credit for Putters and Murmurs.
Let's hear it.
Bale and Vice.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Dick Cheney is the king of the Putters.
It's still
and
the
Murmurs.
Penguin a little bit. It's still just
penguin-y.
like, eh.
But I'm saying if you're grading just on that scale, he does some good puttering, some good murmuring. Even if it's
not bad, Griffin.
Joe's doing.
I'm trying to only talk out of the side of my mouth.
He's doing a fine face.
The other one I had.
I want to be
my last one.
What if I was bad?
A big tum-tum man.
Helena Marcos in Suspiria, which I will grant is maybe more a Wheezes and Whispers than a Putters and Murmurs.
Yeah.
But what the doctor though?
The doctor also.
Tilde is
the doctor
and Murmurs.
is guilt and recrimination.
Yeah, sure.
Tilda's doing a lot. We can stipulate that.
I love Suspiria.
I don't know if I love Suspiria. I loved the scene in Suspiria where Dakota Johnson dances a woman into a pile of bones.
Oh boy.
That is quite the scene.
I gotta say another Putters and Murmurs we're not talking about.
Let's hear it.
Grandma Shoplifter.
For sure. Kieran Kiki, I think.
Sure. This was a banner year for Putters and Murmurs.
Year for Putters and Murmurs.
She rules. She's amazing in another creative film called After the Storm.
Yes.
Where a lot of it is just her chiseling at this like ice cream.
Yes.
It's great.
Amazing.
What else do we? Score. Come on, give me your scores. I love doing a score.
All right. I was tweeting about this the other night too.
Incredible year for score.
It's a really, really good year. I had just seen At Eternity's Gate and I was like, I can't believe this Defoe nomination, but this sounds really good. And wait, I'm going to bring up her name because it's the rare female composer. I know it's one of these male-dominated craft categories. Tatiana Lisovskaya for At Eternity's Gate. Really good. Probably in my 7th spot, but still.
I want to say, I just think the best element of any film in 2018, the single greatest accomplishment in the field of filmmaking in 2018 is the score for Beale Street.
Oh, Bertel. Nicholas Bertel.
Yeah,
that's my number one.
It's just stunning.
That's my number one with a bullet. I also have Ben Salisbury and Jeff Barrow for Annihilation.
Great score.
Which will never get out of my mind ever. Daniel Hart for The Old Man and the Gun.
Incredible score.
Max,
highly underrated.
Max Richter for Mary Queen of Scots. Not a great movie, but a great score.
That movie fucking
haven't seen it.
Sucks.
It does. But great score. And then my wild card, which few people have talked about this, Cliff Martinez for Game Night is a really good score.
You know, we haven't talked about Game Night.
Yeah.
Clemens is incredible. McAdams is incredible. Chandler's great.
Yeah. McAdams is so funny.
The score I have not considered. I love Cliff Martinez.
Good call, though. Yeah.
It's really weird.
That's also a beautiful
but it's like
shot
it really
film.
like
it's a good looking movie.
Yeah.
It amps up that like drama, but in a really over the top way where you know it's still like funny.
Yeah.
Ugh, wonderful.
Oh no, he died is the best line.
Yes, it is
of the year.
Absolutely.
For me, Tom York in Suspiria.
I disagree. I think there's a better line reading.
Go ahead.
That's the problem with your generation. You can't open a fruit box without calling the internet.
Hey, Bradley.
I just want to take another look at you.
I just wanted to mule and other drugs at you.
Can they make a Mule sequel, please?
Sure.
Starts with a prison
Mule
escape,
2,
then he just starts
Prison Break.
muling
Right.
again.
I'm going to mule myself out of this jail.
It's just
Mule 2 never stop muling.
it's just
And
tool.
the way he
It's
gets out of the jail,
TULE.
because my favorite thing about Mule is that he's just driving a car, and like the point is that he's so old that no cop would be like, this guy's a drug mule, you know. So like I would in the Prison Break, he's just like he just gets in a car and starts. I'm like, hey, aren't you a prisoner? He's like, no, don't mind me.
The scene where he bribes
gotta
the cop
go.
with popcorn tins.
Yeah,
You know what? We're all
Officer,
missing the obvious answer.
I'm so loaded up on fucking cattle corn.
We're all in a trunk that's otherwise filled to the brim with conspicuously blank black duffel bags that are clearly filled with drugs and money. He just
with
goes,
big C's on them.
take this kettle corn.
Good Butters and Murmurs was Garcia in the Mule too.
Oh, Andy Garcia,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Golden Gun Garcia.
Yes, exactly.
Garcia had a year between that,
Yeah,
Mamma
he's
Mia
kind
2.
of a Butters and Murmurs and Mamma Mia too.
I
Because there's a
haven't
lot
gotten-
of like, oh yes, excuse me.
Except when he goes, Ruby,
Yes.
across
I
the
mean,
entire.
It's a triumph.
I also love that Andy Garcia is going like, I will romance any actress 12 years older than me on screen. I'll
he
grow
really
out
had
the
a
beard.
time of it this year.
He's
Cher,
had a great time.
Diane Keaton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for Andy Garcia.
He romances Clint Eastwood in The Mule.
He romanced humanity onto that spaceship and passengers and was just
Sure
like,
did.
Yeah,
Couldn't
me.
believe it.
we have to include that as part of his big year because, of course, they re-released Passengers for the
8,000 screens.
every Christmas.
Wait, what were you gonna say though?
I was going to say we're missing the obvious answer here, which is the sequel to The Mule is called The Mules. It's a family
With a dollar
business.
sign. With a dollar sign.
It's with a dollar sign.
My score nominees: Nicholas Bertel for Beale Street, Tom York for Suspiria, Justin Hurwitz for First Man, which is an incredible score.
I agree with
wonderful
that.
score.
I agree with that.
And that movie rules, and whatever. Well, that's one people sort of come around on eventually. Daniel Hart and The Old Man and the Gun, and Ludwig Göransson for Black Panther, which is my winner and has like the greatest hero theme of all time, and it has the greatest city theme.
Yes.
Or, country thing, but like Wakanda capital, like
City
that.
State Wakanda.
Holy shit.
I'm also going to say something really controversial. I think All the Lights should win Best Song.
Oh, that's a great song.
I think
It is a
Chevy
really great
Chalice.
song, but it should not win. No.
I forgot to read this. The Blankies Best Pictures.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
Shit.
10 Mission Impossible, 9 Hereditary, 8 P2 The Deuce, 7 Annihilation, 6 Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, 5 Widows, 4 Roma, 3 Beale Street, 2 The Favorite, 1 First Reform.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, we got good fans.
Yeah, we do.
These are
Yeah.
good
You do
lists.
have very
Reformed
good
one.
All right. I know we did voice performers
Okay.
last year, so I came with a couple.
I
wow.
did too. I think there are a couple big standouts this year.
One was Tom Hardy in Venom, which is half of a voice performance. But like,
Wow.
the voice performance part of that is
That's a really
Some
good
greatness.
call, and you're thinking outside the box.
thank you.
Food,
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. I tried. I don't want to. I don't want to
Yeah.
be traditional here.
No, yeah.
The other one that I have is my number one with a bullet, which is Catherine Keener in Incredibles 2.
Beat me to it.
She's so great in that
Okay.
Beat me
movie.
to it.
Because here's who my 5 would be,
All
okay? Catherine Keener, Incredibles 2.
Yes.
Sarah Silverman, Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Vanellope.
Absolutely.
She's wonderful in that.
Okay.
Yep.
Ben Whishaw, P2 The Deuce,
Sure.
Doesn't work without him.
right? Then I think, now I'm really
Where is
inclined.
he? Where is he?
Where is he? Well, I'm going to say Nicky Cage, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Well,
Okay.
he rules. He rules.
Yeah.
And then my winner, for me, clear cut, the best voiceover performance of the year, and I'm hoping this is who you're waiting for me to say, Jim Cummings, Christopher Robin.
Oh, for Winnie
He
the
is
Pooh.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of him, but of course
Who are
he's
you
amazing.
thinking for Where Is He?
Jake Johnson. The fuck are you talking about? That
Yeah.
performance is extraordinary.
That's actually that's
like
right.
extraordinary.
That's correct.
The problem is
That's
also
correct.
like
Turn it up. Turn it up. No. That perform like
the problem is
I need
Mahershala
a
is
cigarette.
also incredible in
I
Spider-Verse.
mean, you could fill your category.
Brian Tyree Henry is also incredible in Spider-Verse.
Liev Schreiber?
Mulaney is
Spider-Man.
incredible in
Mulaney's
Spider-Verse.
incredible.
Fucking owns.
Yeah.
I mean, Mulaney's great voice performances in Big Mouth is on TV, but he's owns.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
great. Oh my god.
No, I think you're right about Jake
Haley
Johnson.
Steinfeld's
Though.
great.
I think
Yeah.
that character, like,
That's the
It's-
key to
it's-
that one.
there's some degree of difficulty.
Yeah, so
trying
maybe
to think of some other-
I'll knock Nicky Cage out. I'll put Jake Johnson, but Jim Cummings is still.
I would also say Gal Gadot in Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh,
or
Shank?
in Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Shank?
Love Shank. Love
yeah,
some
America's
Shank.
Got Shank Fever.
I mean, Sandler,
Oh yeah, blah blah blah.
HC3. I'm trying to think of some other voice performances, but I guess,
I mean, those are my 5. I agree. Keener's the standout of Incredibles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Ralph Breaks the Internet, we've said in previous episodes, is like an insane step up from an already great performance in the first movie.
Who was it that had the really creepy reaction to Incredibles 2?
Anthony Lane.
Okay, that pissed me off doubly because the real truth of it is like there is some chemistry going on between Holly Hunter and Catherine Keener's characters in Incredibles 2 that is queer in a way, you know what I mean? There's queerness to that, not in like textual way or whatever, but like in the classic sort of like queering a narrative kind of a way that I wanted to talk about and I couldn't because then I thought it was just going to be a creep like Anthony Lane.
I believe I tweeted this out as well, but also he wrote an article about Pixar like 10 years ago where he devoted 3 paragraphs to how much he wanted to fuck Elastigirl. Like he's been on this. This has been his problem for a while.
And
saying like, we all agree, right? I mean, I think the 3rd paragraph ends with, and yes, she can stretch any part of her body. And you're like, what? What are you?
You think she could stretch like her liver and thus drink more?
Yeah, and apparently he wants to fuck her liver or something. I don't know. Anthony Lane, of course, wins Best Critic of the Year.
3rd year running
for his Incredibles 2 review.
I also came with a list of scum bums for Ben this year because I wanted to be a good guest. I wanted to bring something.
All right,
we've talked about Joaquin Phoenix and you were never really here. Classic Ben scum bum.
Yeah. And scum bum with a heart of gold.
But here, this is what I'll say. What I love about the specifics of the scum bummery. Yeah. It's outer borough, sort of like weird, middle of nowhere Queens, shady like bodega.
Mama's boy scum boy.
Yeah. A lot of good, just like shady New York locations.
Yeah.
That's good. 2, I wonder if you've maybe considered Richard E. Grant and Can You Ever Forgive Me is quality scum bumming.
Have you seen that, Ben?
No.
Because
I think you'd appreciate this character.
Sophisticated scum bum.
Yeah.
But that's what he is. He's a gentleman scum bum, truly.
But he's a scammer.
Yeah.
He's
a scoundrel.
A scoundrel.
He's incorrigible.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like you can't not love him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm on board.
And then also Nicole Kidman in Destroyer.
Wow.
Is some unconventional scum bum. But like
she's like a killer.
No, she's a cop gone to seed. She's a cop who's
she's like Dirty Harry,
willing to do the bad thing.
So she's taking crime into her own hands.
Yeah.
You're speaking my language.
And this is like LA scumbum.
Ben looks so proud right now.
Yeah. Take a look at this. Let me know what you think.
All right.
Does Ben have some category? I mean, are there other things that we want to talk about?
I think it's time
we're going to let Ben.
Is it my time?
It's your time
to shine.
Okay, here we go.
Wait, and now I'm going to eat the bagel I've had for 2 hours.
Let me just remind the audience of some of your favorites from last year, because they're all here.
Oh, yes.
Baby Driver should be Fruit Driver. Main fruit is the honeydew melon.
Nice. That makes sense.
All the Money in the World, do a CGI puppet instead of Christopher Plummer.
God, remember when that was a movie?
Molly's Game should have been made with puppies. Reenact dogs playing poker.
Thank you.
Pirates of the Caribbean. I did not remember you saying this. Dead Men Tell No Tales. What about Clowns of the Caribbean? Dead Jesters Have No Words. What is
I don't remember that either.
Well, that's because
I blacked that out.
This is my original category of movies that should be remade with either babies, animals, or puppets, but then also fruit, and now clowns too. But maybe a robot or two could be cool.
Okay, so here we go. All
right. So for babies, all right, guys, widows or baby widows. Those are some cute little criminals.
But they're widowed.
But their
husbands are dead. Okay?
Baby Cynthia Erivo can still sprint though. Like can really get around.
Yes.
All right. For animals, I thought Isle of Dogs. Okay. Fix the movie. Have all the problematic human characters be dogs.
So just everyone's a dog.
Everyone's a dog.
A true Isle of Dogs.
But then the real dogs are big.
To distinguish?
Yeah, so it's like a cool sort of perspective thing.
So it called like Isle of Big Dogs.
Yeah. All right. Mid-90s felt right for like a puppet remake.
Sure.
Because that's pretty much just like they would just make it an after-school special.
Right. That's good. It's very accurate.
All right. I'm all for equal representation in Hollywood. But there's something about Crazy Rich Fruits that's got a really nice ring to it.
They're rich.
They're rich.
They're crazy.
And they're crazy.
Who's the lead character, though?
A banana.
All right.
Clowns. Ready Player Clown.
Yep.
Rylance was close for me on supporting actor, by the way. I want to say that. Oh, I want to say something else. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Please.
I want to say something else. I rewatched Ready Player One on a plane to Utah, in fact. It's good. It's a good movie. It's better the second time. It fucking rules. I'm buying it on iTunes. It's a good movie.
Wow.
Thank you.
I'm so stunned. I stopped chewing my bagel for a second.
His eyes bugged out of his head.
I'm trying very hard to eat off.
The action in that movie is fucking incredible. It kind of rules. I'm sorry. And it's just Spielberg yelling at us and yelling at himself, and it rules. I'm sorry. Carry on, please.
And then now adding a robot or two. I was thinking Robot Mary Poppins Returns.
Yeah. Yep.
So like that's the twist of her return where she's like, I'm back and now like
yeah.
like her face opens up.
She could like her umbrella now is just like a helicopter.
Yeah. Oh, so Inspector Gadget is what we're
she's basically
envisioning.
Inspector Gadget.
Right. Love it.
All right, next up we have the Weddies.
Okay, so last year some of your slickest flicks were Blade Runner, Future Wet.
Yeah.
What is this show? I, Tanya, where you're pointing out that the rinks were frozen water.
Frozen water, yeah.
Dunkirk, Soaked to Death.
Yep.
Shape of Water, title says it all.
Yep.
And Justice League, because the movie is sweaty. And Aquaman.
Right.
All right, so
this year we have Serenity, got a salty ass dog.
Well, that's actually 2019, but whatever, who cares?
Give me it, okay?
You also still haven't seen it.
I know it's wet.
It's wet. I mean, I can't
Everyone
deny
on
that.
Twitter's like, have you seen it yet? And usually people either contact me about big stuff or wet stuff. So I don't
There's a
think
big fish in that movie.
There's a big
too.
fish.
There is.
But it's wet. Okay.
Also, a plot twist is also big in that movie. It's big.
Maddie Mac's butt is also big in that movie.
Yeah, it is. And it is frequent.
Next up, we have Venom because he's sticky.
And also,
rude.
he gets in the lobster tank that time.
Yeah.
It's a wet moment.
That's a wet moment.
Classic wet moment.
Griff is melting down.
The favorite, because it's just like gross wet. Like throw up and they're like getting buckets thrown on them.
That's true. It's true.
That's true.
You know, and like she burns her hand to chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah, the, what do you call it? Lie.
Yeah.
So wet stuff.
Sure.
A Star is Born.
You make the rules here.
I do. A Star is Born because he is so drunk. He's just a wet man.
Soaked.
Wets himself.
He's soaked.
I was not expecting the wettest films category to line up this closely with Best Picture.
What else? Come on.
Well, of course, we got my man, Aquaman.
I mean, that's the winner, right?
That's the clear winner.
Right. That wins the bucket of water or whatever the award is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
Wins
it's a
like-
golden mop.
Yeah, the golden Voss bottle. All right. Now, apparently, last year you had a category called "Should Have Had Jared Leto in It." Have you
I
kept this
dropped
category?
That one.
All right, that
I
one's
got rid
gone.
of that. Well, we got an honorable mention for Vice. It receives the Heath Thick Award. Because Christian Bale's looking really tasty as
looking
Dick
real
Cheney.
thick. Yeah.
Ooh. Yes. All right.
my
And then
God.
lastly, we have the no thank you.
No, thank
Right.
you.
All right. First up, we got Bohemian Rhapsody. No thanks.
Yeah.
It's a bloated biopic directed by a rapist.
That movie is like number one with a bullet in the no thank you.
That's the no thank you Hall of Fame.
I
right
like how
there.
there's also no joke to make. You're just stating the fact.
Yep.
It is a bloated biopic directed by a rapist.
Yeah.
Why is this nominated for Best Picture?
Great question. I don't know. Next up, we have Roma.
Wow. Dragged.
Bring a pillow. Jeez, you're going to fall asleep to this flick.
Roma's also incredibly wet. I mean, it opens with a
I
3-minute
know.
shot
Bucket
of
of water.
tiles being washed.
That's true.
I know.
It ends with the whole family
The
in
fierce and formidable ocean
Yeah.
is a huge
It's
character
an
in Roma.
incredibly wet
Ben might have
picture.
been sleeping by that
Yeah.
point, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think I made it to the beach. Next up, we got Green Book. No thank you. You lost me at book.
So it's like, here's how it goes. It's like green, and you're like,
All right.
tell me more.
Yeah.
I'm into that
Tell
color.
me one more word. I'm in for one more word after green.
Book.
Look. Lost me.
Thank you. At Eternity's Gate. Sounds too long. No thank you.
Sure.
And lastly, we have Can You Ever Forgive Me? No! Thank you!
You can't forgive him?
No! You're a Steeler. Nah, I just wasn't interested. And that's been my
Fair enough.
original categories once again for the 4th annual Blankies.
And that's why he's our finest film
You
critic.
deliver
Absolutely.
like few
I mean,
others, Ben. I have to
I
say.
do.
Anthony Lane has to give his award back.
Yeah, it's true.
Ben's taking it.
Yeah.
Happens every year. We always forget.
Anthony Lane just wrote a review of this episode that's just about how much he wants to fuck Ben. What more is there to say?
Nothing.
I don't know.
It truly was a wonderful night for Blankies.
Okay. We're fine.
It was a wonderful night for Blankies. 213 with 3 star-studded ad reads already baked in.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to be better than whatever the Oscars are going to serve up. Whatever
And
fucking poo-poo
shorter.
platter.
That is true.
And shorter.
And yet still
Pay
shorter.
attention, John Bailey.
Yeah.
Award all 24. That's the hashtag.
I'm
with it.
It is kind of incredible. A night that is theoretically meant to celebrate the art of motion pictures is now jettisoning the airing of the categories devoted to the pictures and the process that puts them in motion next to each other.
You could make a movie without actors.
Yep.
But you could not make a movie without cinematography and editing.
I think also Guillermo del Toro today tweeted, like, you're literally removing the two art forms that are entirely inherent to like everything else comes from
like the
theatrical
Lumiere
tradition
or whatever. You
These
know,
are
like
the two things that are proprietary to filmmaking.
I could go out and make a movie tomorrow and not have any actors in it, but I would need cinematography and I would need editing.
Those are the only two things you absolutely need to qualify as a movie.
Yes.
No, but also that chair with your name on the back of it.
You do need one of those, and you need a picture of you looking behind the viewfinder.
Yeah, with like your cap, and it has like
sort.
Like maybe a battleship's name written on it.
Right. And you're like pointing off vaguely somewhere.
Yeah, maybe some like sort
and
of
a
big
photographer
sunglasses.
to take a photograph of you pointing at a thing from your chair.
Yeah, you need that. You need that. But that's it.
That's it.
Those are the only three things.
Can't wait for best hat this year. Who's gonna win?
Terrence Malick.
Yes, always.
Every year.
Still the best hat, still the best director
profile
picture.
May it never, ever change.
You know he sued them for giving the Academy that picture, right?
Wow.
Because he doesn't like to have his photograph taken. The producers gave that photo, the one they've now used both times he's been nominated for Best Director, and he sued them for giving the photo away.
What a cheerful guy.
Which is also, it's the only Best Director photo of someone smiling in history.
My favorite
They're always so serious, and he's smiling.
IMDb you can get in black and white or color.
Fantastic.
It's a great hat.
Then there's this third picture.
Now they're more in a paparazzi era.
Yeah. Well, you're going to catch up.
I mean, he does have to be on set.
I love Terry.
Love Terry. Can't wait for Radiguns or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
I think playing you off.
Okay.
All right.
He is now directing Guardians of the Galaxy 3, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Terry Malick.
Well, finally, we've got him into the MCU.
And he's also playing Batman now? What if that was the twist that it turned out Terrence Malick was hosting the Oscars? They're like, we didn't want to tell you. He's very press shy. Here he is, Terrence Malick. A lot of great movies this year.
Yo, what if he comes out and he's like, let's talk about Me Too? You're like, oh boy.
Oh no. Oh God.
Representation in Hollywood comes up a lot.
Yeah.
Not enough behatted directors. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. We're losing our minds. Thank you all for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe. Thanks as always to Andrew Gudo for our social media, Joe Bowen and Pat Reynolds for our artwork, Liam Montgomery for our theme song. Go to blankies.raz.com for some real nerdy shit. Go to TeePublic for some real nerdy shirts. Of course, you can become a checkmate. Join Patreon.
Patreon.com/blankcheck.
For that hot tent we're slinging. We're slinging hot tents.
Hot tent. Ooh.
I don't know. What else is there to say?
Thanks for being here, Joe Reid.
Might I
Thanks for being here, Joe Reid.
plug my podcast?
Please! Oh, yes!
I would like to.
Yes.
I hate to be quite so crass,
but on point.
If you want to listen to some real nerdy shit, speaking of which, come listen to this at Oscar Buzz. We talk about old movies that should have been nominated for Oscars or that wanted to be nominated for Oscars and were not. The should have is up for debate.
I'll be on soon discussing.
Yeah, we got to have you on, Griff. We had David on. We talked about Alexander. It was a good old conversation.
And let me watch that 4-hour masterpiece again.
Oh,
you're watching.
It was
which
quite
cut
something.
are you watching?
Ultimate.
Okay, was that the 4th or the 5th cut?
I think it's the 4th. It's the one before the last one.
It's not the longest one.
No, it's the one that's a little shorter than the
longest intermediate.
One. It honestly doesn't matter because, like, honestly, the theatrical cut is fine. The bigger cuts don't really.
The longest one is the one that's on Netflix, though. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
they just make scenes sort of fatter and like add more shit to them. It's not really necessary. Yeah. I like the length. It should be as long as fucking possible.
Yeah,
it adds a lot of the like romance stuff. A lot of
sure.
Sure.
But yeah, follow us on Twitter at @had_Oscar_Buzz. My co-host Chris File and I would be very, very grateful. And thank you for having me on. To be able
of course, as
tell
always.
your fantastic listeners, it would be kind of right up their alley.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, if you're not already listening, what's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
I say. I don't know. Any final thoughts, David? You're in film.
I'm so excited for 2019. I never want to think about 2018 again, as usual.
What do you think is going to be your best film of 2019?
I mean, Serenity.
I've seen three films that are potential.
Oh, that's true. I have.
Because I went to Sundance this year. So
I have my
actually
best
have,
actress contender who is going to be very hard to budge
Who?
from that spot. Elizabeth Moss.
Well, Mossy in her smell fucking.
I can't envision a performance that's going to knock that out easily.
But High Life blew me away, and then at Sundance, I mean, The Farewell is.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Ruined me.
Really?
And, yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for
so
it.
Good. That movie's so good that I sometimes think about how it ends and start crying.
Really?
Yeah. Which is nuts. It's not like something I do on the reg.
No,
that's like a lot of movies where I start crying when I think about.
You're usually
them.
stone cold.
Yeah, stone cold.
Yeah.
And then The Souvenir, which I assume is coming out this year, and a sequel is already in production, and like I cannot overemphasize how amazing this movie is.
There was the movie that came out like a month ago, A Dog's Way Home.
Sure. And now there's A Dog's Journey or something.
A Dog's Journey
Breakfast
back?
is next. Yeah.
I thought A Dog's Way Home was the sequel to A Dog's Journey.
One of
but
them
apparently
is
that's
not related, right?
One of them is a separately produced adaptation of a book written by the same author, and the other one's a direct sequel.
So this is some like where James Bond people own half the rights or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it got really
wild.
complicated.
But they're both. All three movies are written by the same
Bruce
people.
Cameron joints.
Yeah.
Is this also A Dog's Purpose, or am I making
I
that
love
up?
this.
Right, that's the one I was thinking. Dog's Purpose, Dog's Journey, Dog's Way Home were the three.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But only two of them are legally
The
connected
dog who
to
kicked
each
the
other.
hornet's nest, the dog who played with fire. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my best picture of 2019.
Agreed.
Sure.
You're
Okay.
right. You're right. That's what it is.
And as always, fuck the wife.
Get into that.
I had it out of here.
Well, wait a second.
What?
What if there was a wife?
Okay, you know what? And as always, reconsider the wife.
Back.